Okay, let's get going. It's Thursday, right? Yep, it's Thursday. Good morning, Kilo. Get ourselves started this morning. Hmm. Whew, excuse my shoulder pops. Hi, Peter. Words fall through me and always fool me, and I can't react. Games. Did the crab go to Trump? I'm sorry. Well, he can have crabs too. He probably does. Oh, there we go. I got it. I just wasn't looking. That's why. See? We fixed it. It's fine. Oh, God. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You'll make it now. Where are these in order? Eyes that know me, and I. Don the con. And erase me. No, Curb, it's not. Sometimes I do Thirsty Thursday, but I just didn't today. Maybe we'll do something special for Friday. I'm not sure. And what with yourself? It's time that you won. Yeah, start tapping the screen, please. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You've made it now. Fall and slowly sing your melody. I'll sing it loud. Loud. It wasn't meant to be a concert, Mayo. I just love this song. All right. Good morning to everybody. No matter your woke time zone, I appreciate you guys being here today. Let's get ourselves started, shall we? If you're watching over here on TikTok, if you could start tapping that screen for me, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Remember that we do try to hit 300,000 likes before the end of the 3 hours that I am live. But if we hit like 250, 220, that's great too. I'm tired. I'm gonna start with that. I'm tired. My soul's tired. I'm really not. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. But care for me, please. Pick up that slack for when I don't care and care for me, and tap that screen for me, please. Fill that bar up. I appreciate it so much. Guys, share the live out before I start showing clips, because that seems to be an issue. So repost it now, add it to your story, share it to 5 of your friends, do all those good things to help push us onto that algorithm. Yeah, Shauna, that's really what it is. My soul's just fucking tired. Do your daily heart me if you have not done so. That daily heart me does give you access to stickers in the chat. We got a lot of fun ones in there, so I would appreciate it if you guys could send that daily heart me, please. We've had a lot of issues with our gifting being suspended, so can we make sure that we are working on the gifts? I see you guys did the roses and the chili peppers. I appreciate you. We've got Joe Biden's ice cream cone up there now. We know how that man loves ice cream, so let's make sure we are working on that. Also, I have 2 gifts left in my gift gallery, guys. If you click on my little profile picture and hit that C5 gift gallery, there's 2 gifts in there. I know they're the big ones, so I totally understand if you can't, but today is Thursday out of Friday, which is the last time that I go live during the week. It's the end of my week is Friday, so if we could finish up that gift gallery, that would be amazing. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support. If you're watching over on YouTube, if you guys could hit that thumbs up button for me, I'd appreciate it. It really does help push us out onto the algorithm, so that we can get, hopefully, people who want to have conversations. And even if you don't, I literally don't care. I literally don't care. I have an outline to go through. We have news to go through. That's fine. But if you would like to have a conversation based off of factually based evidence and not your feelings, I would appreciate it so very much. If you could do that, push it out on the algorithm for your maybe braver brethren. I don't know. We can try that. If you are watching on YouTube, you can subscribe. You can also become a member. You can send jewels and you can send super chats. In case the chat starts going too fast and you have something you would really like me to read, you send a super chat, guarantees that it gets read. So I appreciate that. If you're watching over on Twitch, hello and good morning. I see you guys over there. Hello, Kilo. Hello, Paris, Mom. Hello, Dark Eagle, and hello, Yami. Good morning to you all. Can you guys make sure that you're just in here doing your thing? If you would like to subscribe, you can. Remember, if you pay for Prime, Jeff Bezos gives you 1 free Prime sub a month that you can use on me. It does give you access to emotes in the chat over there. And guys, I have my goal up that I have every single day. It has increased since I'm on for an extra hour now pretty consistently. I figure that $50 an hour is not too shabby to be paying for a woman's labor, because that's what we do in this community. So we crowdfund here. If we could start working on that, $1 train, $2 train, $5 train, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in the link tree in my bio, as we can get that started today. All right, let me find this thing so I can reset my gift. It's never in order, so I don't know what to do with myself like that. Oh, I know I passed it already. Hold on, I gotta focus. Nope, I didn't pass it. Where is it? I'm not crazy. Where'd it go? Whatever. I'm just gonna do. Fine. We'll just do that one. Sure. I don't know. I don't know where it went. I don't know why it's missing. This is how we're starting the day. I can feel it. Yeah, Audie. I can feel it. It's how we're starting. All right. Let's legitimately get started now. Oh my gosh, thank you, Shauna, for the meteor shower. Can I get W's to Shauna for the meteor shower? Thank you so much, Shauna. I appreciate that. That was so pretty. I'm already here. Because we share to each other. It's a giant incestual pool of sharing on TikTok, I think is really what it is. Let's start with some polling, because that makes them mad and they love it so much. So we are going to start with some polling here. So guys, make sure if you haven't reposted that you do it now, because as soon as I bring this on the screen, we're going to have issues, because that's what always happens. I'm trying the trick where it doesn't have the little thing at the top, but it does not seem to matter. It's very frustrating. I don't want to have to just play sounds, but we're getting to that point. So let's go into some CNN polling.
All right, you got.
And this one, I actually don't think they're citing anybody else. I think this is literally CNN ran a poll. So here we go.
Brand new CNN poll numbers just out, and they are strikingly bad for President Trump. With less than 100 days until the midterms, the president's approval rating is tanking on just about every major issue. We're talking Iran, inflation, gas, immigration, his D.C. construction projects, and more. A whopping 73% of American adults polled say the president has not paid enough attention to the country's most important problems.
All right, we'll get to that in just a minute because there's somebody in the box. Bob, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well today. Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, can I get your age and what state you voted in?
Yeah, 34 Montana.
All right, awesome. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, mostly for the the social issues that the left is pushing right now. So things like AB and gender ideology.
And those are the important issues to you.
Yeah, well, we know with things like gender ideology, right? They're trying to restructure society based off of these man-woman categories. But more importantly, if you look at the JAMA network and the analysis they did, they show that they're doing double mastectomies on girls as young as 13 in the name of gender-affirming care. So
in the name
that's
of
the definition.
Gender-affirming care?
Correct, and that's the definition
what's the
of child
study
abuse.
on that?
Yeah, you can look up JAMA Network, and I
know
believe
what
the name of the study.
What's the name of the study?
Yeah, I believe it's number of gender surgeries in the U.S. or something to that effect.
And this was correlated to their ideology specifically, or just that they went under breast augmentation?
Well, there was a few different procedures that they tracked, but if you look at the cohort study in this particular study.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to see if I'm on the right one. National estimates of gender-affirming surgery
correct.
in the U.S.? Okay.
Yeah, and if you look at the cohort study there, I think it was about 7.7% or something around 3,600 patients who were ages ranged 12 to 18.
Sure, but
and if you scroll down to table 1, it'll show you how many of them had chest procedures, which were double mastectomies.
And can you show me where that correlates specifically to gender ideology?
Well, I mean, it is gender ideology that's pushing this idea that...
not necessarily. It could just be an increase in a younger population of girls who do not want to have ginormous breasts. Could just
okay, where's your evidence for that? I mean, I've got evidence
I said
that
could
the
be.
trans...
I don't have evidence on that. I'm asking you to correlate I'm asking you to correlate your claim, which is that this amount of breast surgery is because of gender ideology. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, well, just look at the study. The reason it was coded the way it does correlate because the ambulatory... Yes, because the ambulatory section they pulled the coding from under gender-affirming surgery was for folks who had gender identity disorder or transsexualism.
Where is
it's
that?
Right in the study.
Where in the study is that?
You can look under, I believe it's under the cohort piece. It'll tell you where they pulled all of the information, and it'll tell you how it was coded, and it was coded as gender-affirming surgery. So the idea that, and you guys always try to do this, oh, maybe it was something else. It's right in the study.
Where is that? Because it says findings, and it just says in this cohort study. The study itself is a cohort study. So can you find?
Yeah, if you look through the section that's towards the top somewhere, I'm not in front of a computer right now, but it'll show you on there that it might be under methodology and how they got to the data. I forget this specific heading. But will you condemn right now double mastectomies on girls as young as 13? Will you condemn that as child abuse?
No.
Why not?
Not if it's prescribed by a doctor.
Okay. Can we objectively measure gender identity?
What do you mean by that?
Can we objectively measure it and know that person is the gender which they claim to be?
No, it's all going to be self-identification.
Okay, so how could a doctor make a recommendation if you can't measure it?
They make a recommendation based off of their gender dysphoria.
And it doesn't mean that they are the gender which they claim to be. You just said we can't objectively measure it.
Yeah, there's no way for you to do that either as a cisgendered person. So
right. So why would... Perfect. So then why would we perform these surgeries on little children who can't consent?
When young
no, don't
boys,
pivot. Why would we perform these surgeries?
I'm not pivoting. This is in the same.
You are pivoting. Why would we perform these surgeries on little children who can't consent?
Are you okay with performing double mastectomies on young boys?
No, I think they should wait till they're adults.
Okay, so they just have to deal with the fact that they might want to kill themselves because they have large breasts. They just have to deal with that. Okay, cool.
They would have to deal with it, yeah.
Okay. You want to save kids, but you're fine with them wanting to kill themselves if they don't like the way that they look and being made fun of for having breasts. That's interesting. I don't care. I literally don't fucking care. Thank you, Matt, for the 533. So thanks for not being a meanie like Ari when it comes to tapping. She's not mean. Sure, Bob, if you want to call that a win, that's fine. You're not winning anything. The economy is falling apart. We're in a fucking war with Iran, and now we're bombing in Iraq. People can't afford their fucking bills. They can't afford gas. But yeah, you're totally saving the planet with going after less than 1% of the population that you don't understand, which again, I'll have this study and I will read it later. Thank you for bringing that to me. I appreciate that. And we will look at it. And thank you, Scuba Steve, for the 10 for letting me get this tribute started. W, thank you so much, Scuba Steve. So I'm going to do this math. It's not a win to be a bigot. It's not a win to be... You're not saving kids. I just said you want them to be you're fine with them having suicidal ideation until they're 18. That's fine with you. Okay, sure. Let's see. What's the year on this? This one was published 2023. I'll send it to you, Audie. Not if that brings up stupid ad. There you go. I'm going to put it over here to the side so that I have it, so I can read it later. All right, back to his shitty approval for the things that actually matter. The things that actually matter.
That's a record number of discontented Americans. Trump's overall approval ratings has slipped to just 34%. His approval rating hasn't been this low since just after the January 6th attack on the Capitol. All right, you got...
So, bad approval. There's that one. And then we had one where from CNN as well, where the approval from Republicans has gone down. Now it's still way over a majority rate. But it has gone down because remember the CNN poll that Donald Trump touted as being this huge thing. Leave me alone. Leave me alone, Matt. We all know I'm bad at math in this community, and I have to pull the calculator out. It's just what I have to do. Donald Trump loved to brag about the CNN, and it was a CNN poll, the CNN poll about the fact that Republicans supported him 100%. And I said, good job. Thank you, Matt. I love you. It's fine. I'm in a mood. It's me. It's not you. It's me. I am in a fucking mood today. I can feel it in me. I don't know how to make it go away. But CNN poll that had him at 100% for Republicans, it has now gone down.
Into your point about polarization, how is his standing among Republicans in his own party?
Another record in our poll, and not the kind that Donald Trump is going to tout. It is a numeric low among Republicans. 78% approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing now. Obviously, 78% is a high number, but Donald Trump, as you know, the command and control he has over the Republican Party, his number has never been as...
So this is bad in and of itself, right? Like, even losing Republicans, it's already done. Like, it's done. The amount of polls that I have shown, which again, yes, are a snapshot, but it has been snapshot after snapshot after snapshot of the fact that he has a low approval among independents. And that is important because you cannot win elections without independents. And that is on both sides. Republicans and Democrats cannot win on their own without independents. And so his approval rating, look, with independents, that's really where you need to be focusing. But the fact that we're starting to see Republicans slide away now is a big deal. We have said this before. We're kind of starting to see it, is that we're moving from this place of full support of Trump. And eventually, I think it's going to be, as Ari puts it, Obama got 100% of the vote. I think eventually Trump will have had 0% of the vote because nobody's going to want to admit that they voted for him except for the really, really sick people. And we're already kind of seeing it, which was like, yeah, I voted for him. And I don't regret my vote, but he sucks. I agree he sucks and he broke promises, but both sides do it. Insert SpongeBob meme here. So I think that that's where they need to focus on the fact that you're starting to lose your own people now, and it was already bad enough that you lost independence. So it's going to be an issue. Oh, I didn't let that finish playing, did I? I'll let it finish.
Low as 78% among his fellow partisans. I'm not suggesting the party is all of a sudden going to flee him, but I am suggesting we are seeing erosion among his very party faithful inside the GOP.
Into your point.
We see them lie that they didn't vote for it yet, or that. All right, get that off the screen. We're not done with polling. We're going to go to another poll real quick. But first, Lenati, W's to Lenati for the 467. He said to mute Veritas in chat. That's all. Te quiero mucho, mi amor. So I see you guys were playing with him. You can just mute him for the day now because that's what we do here.
Do you want someone muted in the chat? Is there someone spamming, making disingenuous arguments, displaying bot behavior, or maybe none of the above?
Also, thank you for
and
making
they're
the
just
math
a
easy.
dumb bitch. Well, you can keep them muted for as little as $2 a day, $7 a week, or $25 a month. And remember, while you may contribute to their degradation kink, side eyes at you, Ruben, we don't kink shame, but it is perfectly acceptable to kink ask why. Additionally, we offer that if there is a guest you would like to drop for any reason at all, you can get rid of them for the entire day for as little as $10. And if there's somebody you would like to get rid of forever and never see again in this stream, you can have them banned for as little as $50. Pay links in the bio.
Thank you, Eli, for those lovely announcements that you've done and all the clipping and wonderful things that you've done for my community. I appreciate it, and for my platform. All right, so I had this one. I didn't know where to throw it, but since we were doing polls, I figured we'd throw it here. Politico did a poll. Even Trump voters aren't very impressed by the GOP's tax overhaul. Now, I played the video on Fox where they talked about the fact that with coping and pretzeling, that it is not being messaged well enough by Congress, even though, as I've said, they are trying to change the name of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act to the Working Families Tax Cut Act, which is not its name, to try to sell it better. It was not popular in the conversations up to it passing. It's not popular after it's passing, and apparently it's not getting any better, even with Trump voters. Congressional Republicans have a political problem with their signature legislative achievement of the second Trump era. People don't know about it. A new political poll finds that nearly half of Americans say they can't explain the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, and those who can are much more likely to say it's helped others, including the wealthy, but not them. 1 in 3 said the mega bill had hurt their bottom line, greater than the 8% who said it had been a big boost to their personal finances, and 14% who said it offered some modest support. It's a frustrating situation for top Republicans who rushed to finish off the tax cut package by the middle of last year, in part to give them more time to plug the new law to voters, and have tried to rebrand it as the Working Families Tax Cuts. Oh, who said that? Me. But Americans see the mega bill and tax cuts in general as helping the wealthy, far more than the working class, according to the poll, conducted in July by the independent UK-based firm Public First. That's a particular challenge in a midterm year where cost of living is voters' top concern, and as frustrations grow with rising prices and the Iran war. In a notable warning sign for Republicans, only around a quarter of people who voted for President Donald Trump believe the working class got substantial breaks from the tax law, signaling how low public opinion is of the bill among their own base. The best time for successfully framing and reinforcing the benefits of the One Big Beautiful Bill were in the initial 3 months after it passed, said Kevin Madden, a longtime GOP communication strategist. It's just a challenge in these crowded issue environment to re-engage on legislation from last year. Now, the big problem with that is self-inflicted. That is a self-inflicted wound. As we know, Steve Bannon was the one who kind of didn't come up with it, right? But he promoted within the Trump administration this idea of flood the zone. Just keep it constant, and which is why I try to do what I do with outlines and try to organize them as best I can. Sometimes we don't get to stuff until way later because it is just headline after headline after headline after headline. The amount of people, I want to say, my heart broke yesterday, and I do have a video on it again today. My heart broke for the amount of people who found out in my live yesterday that Donald Trump was going after Medicare Part D. Not going after, it's done. They are stopping the subsidies on Medicare Part D. It broke my heart to see the amount of people like, well, fuck. And so what he is saying is true, which is that because of Flood the Zone, it is going to be very hard to go back to such an old piece of legislation and try to now sell it as something good. I think that's going to be an issue for them completely. Thank you so much, Super Magnum, for the $20 super chat. I can't stand that we have a president that has no common sense. Yeah, we almost have to just Uno reverse, right? Their whole thing is common sense, common sense, common sense. I think we're going to have to Uno reverse that. W's, thank you, Super Magnum. I appreciate you so much. we have to like Uno reverse the common sense because they don't have it anymore. More Trump voters see the mega bill as benefiting the wealthy than substantially helping the working class. Share of adults split by their 2024 vote and whether they think the One Big Beautiful Bill Act offers working class Americans substantial tax breaks. Overall, 14%, Trump voters 26%, Harris 6%. Some breaks to conceal larger tax breaks for the wealthy. 34% overall, 35% Trump, 44% Harris. No tax breaks, 21% overall, 16% Trump, 30% Harris. And don't know, 30% overall, 24% Trump, 20% Harris. The GOP faced a similar problem in 2018 when Democrats took back the House after a midterm election in which voters rejected Trump and his policies. His first-term tax cuts weren't enough to offset voter anger at his administration, including over healthcare, and we are seeing that again. Senior Republican lawmakers continue to talk up the 2025 mega bill and some of its popular provisions like new deductions for tipped income, overtime pay, and the Trump account investment vehicles for children, putting more money in Americans' pockets, helping them seize opportunities to get ahead and creating new pathways to success. Senate Majority Leader John Thune said on the Senate floor Wednesday, that is the working families tax cuts at work, except that's not what it's called. It's literally nowhere in the 300-page bill. You're not going to find it. The problem for Republicans is that other issues have overshadowed their tax cuts, most notably the war with Iran. The poll shows a 57% majority of Americans say the conflict has made things more expensive for them, even as they struggle to feel the benefits of the tax cuts. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise acknowledged Thursday that many voters don't know what's in the mega bill. What Republicans need to do, quote, as relates to the tax code, is to contrast what we've done to help make life more affordable for families and put more money in their pocket versus what the Democrats would do, he told a small group of reporters in his Capitol office. I mean, they're saying they want more power. They want the House majority. Oh, I think it's a fair question to say, what would they do if they got it? Most of their candidates are saying they would repeal the One Big Beautiful Bill. I haven't seen that. And I'm legitimately saying I haven't seen it. If anybody has, I don't care what side you're on, it would be great. I would love to see that. I have not seen where the Democrats are saying they would repeal the One Big Beautiful Bill Act itself. If maybe the only thing I might have heard rumors of, and I don't even know who, would be certain provisions that they would repeal in it, not the entire thing itself. So again, polling shows that around 2 in 5 voters said they've heard of the Big Beautiful Bill but couldn't explain the features of the law. Only 11% said they could explain the law in detail, with another quarter saying they were aware of just some elements. So it's not a partisan problem. Almost half of Trump voters couldn't explain the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, as you can see. 1/5 of voters said they didn't know whether the new law had helped their personal finances, with another quarter saying it hadn't affected them in either direction. It's going to be hard to go back in time to sell this. Would it be bad to repeal the bill? No, it wouldn't be bad, Kyle. It would be messy. I think that's the thing. It would take more time. It's going to take more support than even if the Democrats win the majority in the House, that the votes that they're not going to have in the Senate to be able to do that. It is going to be easier to start chipping away at it through other pieces of legislation than it is going to be to repeal it. So yeah, I'm not saying it's bad to repeal it. I'm just saying it's messy and it's harder to do so versus just instituting legislation that's going to be like, take that part away, take that piece away, take that part away, insert this. So I think it would be a better way to do it that way. Okay. As I said, I did have a video on it. I just was going to throw it in here into like breaking news, whatever coverage. This is actually Fox News reporting on the Medicare Part D subsidies being canceled by the Trump administration.
Some senior citizens could face higher prescription costs in 2027 as the Trump administration plans to end a Medicare subsidy program for Medicare Part D drug plans at the end of the year. The White House says these subsidies only pushed insurers to raise rates, forcing the federal government to cover the cost. They also say that Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act already hiked premiums in Part D. Wall Street Journal reports, quote, the administration officials said around 25% of Medicare Part D plan enrollees would see premiums for their plans stay flat or go down next year. About 30% will have an increase of less than $10 to their monthly bill. For the remaining 45%, he said the increases are largely in the $11 to $20 range per month. Recent polling shows healthcare costs are a leading concern for voters amid the broader affordability problem as we are less than 100 days away from the midterms, Maria.
Okay, so I don't know why they think that that's the best thing to do right now while you're in the middle of having issues with affordability. Again, making the same mistake Biden did, which is saying everything's fine when everything's not fine. W's to Jumar for the $2 train. Choo-choo. One big beautiful mind is what you have. Thank you so much. That's a huge compliment. I appreciate that, Jumar. Thank you. So let's go to, let me do this because I'll forget. If I don't do it now, I can do math. Saw this yesterday. So today, was it today? Today was supposed to be? Yeah, it was supposed to be today. U.S. Senate Committee on the Judiciary, notice of committee executive business meeting postponed. U.S. Senate Committee on the Judiciary title executive business meeting, date Thursday, July 30th, 2026, time 9 a.m. Location Hart Senate Office Building, room 216. Agenda 1, nominee A, Todd Blanche to be Attorney General of the United States, was postponed. His vote for his confirmation was postponed. Specifically, it was being called for postponement by Tom Tillis and by John Cornyn. They both, again, primaried, lost their seats, grew a backbone magically. It's weird how that works when you no longer have funding or money or backing behind you, how your backbone seems to grow within the Republican Party. It's just like, it's fucking magic juice to you guys. But regardless, they have postponed Tillis wasn't primaried, you're right. Tillis is just leaving. You are correct. Tillis was not primaried, he's just leaving, but still. I'm not happy with him. You didn't say shit until now. So their reasoning, which is a good reasoning. Here's the thing. It's a good reasoning. I can admonish them for being spineless little pricks and also at the same time say, at least you're holding up to a standard now, which is that they would like Todd Blanche to formally, in writing, say that the anti-weaponization fund is dead. Because as of right now, it's still a contract. He signed it. It exists out there. He can say that it's moot and that it's dead all he wants to, but until it is in writing, it's still out there. So I don't understand why he doesn't just have a staffer type this up, and then he can sign his little signature on it and be done. He has yet to do that, so that is why they have postponed this confirmation vote, because absolutely not, they said. We will not do this until you show us some good faith that you mean what you say in regards to the anti-weaponization fund being dead. All right, last little bit of breaking-ish news. Maybe. You're kidding. I am sick of capitalism. You have to pay for every little piece of information now. This is what you guys wanted? This bull crap. Can't stand it. All right. Preposterous. Comey team attacks charges over alleged threat to Trump. So remember, I said we were going to keep track of the Seashells by the Seashore case. I said we were going to do it. And so here we are. A May 2026 FBI interview with notorious mobster Sammy the Bull, a text message from a disgruntled acquaintance misled by Rudy Giuliani's podcast, and actress's late night television routine. Hold on. I'm going to fix this. I was trying to cut the little thing, which I did, but now it's like all out of whack. Hold on. See if that'll fix it a little better, maybe. Okay. So that I can zoom in a little more. The strange tale that led to former FBI Director James Comey being prosecuted over a May 2025 photo of seashells arranged to read 8647 grew stranger still Tuesday as his defense attorneys laid out what they contended were bizarre aspects of the federal investigation that resulted in him being indicted in April on charges of threatening to kill President Donald Trump in an Instagram post. New details about the probe emerged in a fusillade of motions Comey filed late Tuesday to kill the criminal indictment, contending that it was rooted in Trump's personal animus for the FBI chief he fired in 2017 and based on misleading evidence used to improperly obtain search warrants for Comey's digital records. Among the details supplied by Comey's lawyers, the White House's intense interest in every aspect of the initial Secret Service probe, with senior officials asking for details even as Trump flew home from Europe. The filings also indicate that as Comey drove from North Carolina to Northern Virginia shortly after the posting, law enforcement tracked the former FBI director via his cell phone. Such agency tracking, which takes place without a warrant, requires law enforcement to claim that there's an imminent threat to life or limb, a Secret Service official wrote, according to Comey's legal team. The official, whose identity was redacted, added in a memo filed by the defense that when initially contacted by the Secret Service, Comey declined to say where he was, although he said he would meet with investigators the following day in Washington. Quote, "We did not believe that anyone's life was in immediate danger, and legally it was a bad idea to ping the phone," the official concluded. Aspects of the Secret Service unusual tracking of Comey were first reported last year by the New York Times. Appended to Comey's latest motions were 2 search warrants the FBI used to obtain Comey's information from Apple and Google. The first was approved by a magistrate judge on March 23, 2026, just days before Trump fired Attorney General Pam Bondi amid frustration about her failures to prosecute his political nemesis. The second was approved in May by a different magistrate judge. The warrants show that the FBI's case against Comey was largely based on a disputed interpretation of 86, a term of ambiguous origin that has typically been used in the restaurant industry to represent an item that is out of stock. But some have interpreted it in a more sinister sense, defining it as old mafia slang for a murder. The Bureau contended that Comey's years prosecuting organized crime would have exposed him to that darker definition, and his decision to post the picture to Instagram represented a true threat to Trump's life. In their filing, Comey's defense team called that explanation ludicrous and devoid of any evidence. Prosecutors went so far to prove Comey's violent intent that they interviewed Salvatore Gravano, better known as Sammy the Bull, in May. Comey's team said Gravano supported the notion that law enforcement officials would know the term 86 had a violent definition, but he added that mobsters wouldn't use it because it would be too obvious. Oh, even your mobster said, "We don't use that term. That's silly." So again, you can read through that. We're keeping track of that case. I don't have the article on the reflecting pool case, but I did want to talk about that for just a second, which is the fact that it seems that the star witness that they had to get this indictment from a grand jury in regards to the reflecting pool vandal said that, oh, well, it already looked like it was like pulling from the bottom before he went in there. So already not going well. So we see that. Ooh, Trump says he may delay Todd Blanche's attorney general nomination. Thank you. He says he may pull it. I wonder why he's going to pull it. Is it because he's not going to win it? Could it be that? Maybe. It could maybe be that. Thank you. Okay. As we keep going here, thank you guys so much. You guys are rocking it on the taps, and I appreciate it so much. It is really, really helpful over here on TikTok. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, to hit that thumbs up button for me. It does help push us out onto that algorithm over there. I would appreciate it. Okay, so Trump's pick, Kevin Warsh. Did I take care of that thing? What thing? Trump's pick, Kevin Warsh, is in charge of the Fed now. Remember, Jerome Powell is still on the board, but Kevin Warsh is the Fed chair now. This was Trump's pick. Trump picked him in the hopes that he would lower interest rates. Well, the economy does what the economy does, and unfortunately, as Fed chair, he can't just overrule the board. They don't want me to recommend you turn the chat to fan club only. What? So, again, the Fed held the rates steady. They did not go up. They did not go down. They held the rates steady. And he does cite what we all said, which is inflation. Now, he tries to pretzel that a little bit. But, oh, they tapped because of that? I see what you're saying.
The economy is showing impressive resilience. Even with recent shocks, the trends are positive and reveal solid growth. Job gains have kept pace with the workforce, and the unemployment rate has changed little. Inflation remains elevated relative to the committee's 2% goal. The committee remains resolute. You've heard this before, but we will deliver price stability.
So inflation is high. So when Donald Trump says that he defeated inflation and inflation is lower, and when he says it was lower than Biden, even though it's not, because when Biden left, it was 3.0. When he says those things, he's lying. So just remember that, because even his own pick is saying, no, inflation is still high. It's above our target, which is 2%. That's where we want to be in the Fed is 2%, and that's not where we are. Now, here's the part where he does a little glazing because he has to, right? He said you've heard this before. Yeah, because it's just a repeat. And again.
As before, the policy statement conveys just the facts. It's steering clear of forecasting, a choice we consider especially prudent at these uncertain times. Uncertainty, however, does not mean a lack of clarity. For some households, businesses, and market professionals, 5 years of high inflation have left a mistaken impression that's hard to shake, that the Fed's implicit inflation target.
Oh, so we're just gonna do a catch-all. We're just gonna include we're gonna include without context of the big panini press Biden's inflation numbers. That's what we're gonna do? Okay, cool. I see how it is.
Was somehow above 2%. Let me reiterate, there is no soft inflation target. There is no soft implicit target, not on this committee's watch. There's only a target, and it's 2%. Not one of my FOMC colleagues is under any illusion. We have begun a new chapter, and we understand that the 5+ years of inflation above target cannot be cured in 9 weeks, or by a single month of modest price decreases.
So the prices are up and they're going to stay that way. Yeah. And even that modest price decreases in certain areas. He's leaving a lot of stuff out so as he doesn't piss off the president who put him forward. But it doesn't seem to matter because the info comes out anyway from Fox itself about our GDP.
Let's start with what we saw with GDP for the first quarter. We're coming in with a read of 1.6%. So this is a revision down for first quarter GDP. The first read was 2%. Now we're coming down with the second read of 1.6%. And that is actually below the range of 1.7 to 2.2.
Remember that numbers get revised. So when the first quarter of 2026 GDP came out and it was at 2%, they were like, yeah, it's lower than expectations, but we're still on a good track. It was just revised down to 1.6% for Q1. Which actually, I thought I had the other one too. Is that not the one I had? Here's the other one I had. I meant to put this on here. And so that was a revision for quarter one. Let's do quarter two, shall we?
In line with estimates. Let's get to GDP. This is the first look we're getting at second quarter GDP, Maria. The first read is 1.5%, 1.5%. The estimate was a gain of 2.1%. So we're coming in a little bit light on this first look at second quarter GDP.
So the estimate for the second quarter GDP was 2%. We came in at 1.5%. Did you? I think I saw it in the Discord. Came in at 1.5%, and as we know, it is more often than not going to get revised down versus getting revised up. So it'll be interesting again to see how we're coming in late. And it's going to get revised down again, most likely. Most likely going to get revised down again, which was just interesting. So remember, I played you the one that they had to revise down Q1. Here's Lutnick in his predictions. This is why they stopped making predictions, by the way.
So now everybody knows their tariff, right? So now you're going to see factories getting built in America at a scale that you have never seen before. Okay, more than $10 trillion of factory builds coming, all right? And so there's huge amount of construction jobs. So I would say the first quarter of next year will be the best quarter of construction jobs this country's ever seen. And that's going to roll all the way through 26. So I think you're going to see GDP growth next year over 4%.
You do, 4%, 10 trillion.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Over 4%. You just had a 2% from Q1 get dropped down and revised down to 1.6, and now we are coming in at 1.5 for Q2. 4% where?
Over what period of time, Secretary?
Mr. Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States, during his term.
It's going well. It's going well. But don't worry, he wasn't done making predictions because he was going to make a prediction for Q2 as well. I need a ha-ha. I like a ha-ha.
Ordinary. Look for the second quarter of 2026 to be amazing as all this money comes back into the economy from this big, beautiful bill, which really takes care of Americans. Finally, the president has the power to take care of Americans. Someone actually in the White House cares about the real people of America.
Mr. Secretary, only
ordinary.
No, they didn't, Ari.
I just want to believe the things that I say. Why don't you just let me believe the things that I say?
Not them doing it in real life now. Am I magic? They're starting to say it in their real arguments now? But let's go back to Fox Business because they're talking about how the lower income consumer is pulling back, and we have been seeing that.
Procter & Gamble, they're a consumer staple, the kings thereof. They're down 3.8%. What, people don't buy what they're selling?
Correct. So higher inflation is pulling back, means the lower income consumer is pulling back. Fabric and home, a 1% volume increase, but grooming, baby, family care, 1% volume drop. Healthcare, think Oral-B, Vicks, a 3% volume drop. They're trying to make it up with pricing, but this is a tricky pricing environment right now. So when volume drops, it tells you something more fundamental going on with the business.
So I talk about a boring stock. This thing's done nothing for at least 5+ years. Yeah. And consumer staples overall are kind of a tough space. We basically only own nicotine within consumer staples because there's actually growth there. But these guys, they're actually losing business to lower priced competition right now, which is strange. I mean, you think people still have to brush their teeth. They're going to buy, Procter & Gamble stuff, but they're actually finding cheaper alternatives.
Oh no, capitalism is defeating the monopoly on Procter & Gamble. Why are we saying that like that's a bad thing? That's weird. That's an interesting way to put that. How about no SpaghettiOs? Hate. I love SpaghettiOs. The hate will be on any generic brand because although growing up lower income, sometimes we bought generic on things. SpaghettiOs is not one of them because ew. But we love SpaghettiOs. We did SpaghettiOs Surprise where you just crush Ritz crackers into your SpaghettiOs. Delicious. I love SpaghettiOs. I just SpaghettiOs. Last one that I have on the economy. Boyardee has no right to be called chef. That and you don't even know because you're not in the TikTok debate streets. Yeah. No Boyardee in this community. All right, last little bit that I have on that is and then I'll probably get to my immigration section and kind of see where we get to from there. I might get through quite a bit of my outline today. Trump's energy secretary is going to talk about high energy prices. So there is an issue within data centers skyrocketing energy prices for the people in the community where these data centers are being built. Yeah, Tony, we have pepperoni. So where these data centers are being built, they are seeing an increase in their utility costs with energy and with water. And we know that there is an issue in that within data centers. Now, that is not to say that energy prices were not increasing before that. That would be silly. It's not like energy prices were down here and all of a sudden data centers made it rise. No, we're just saying that that is also a factor that is going to hurt Americans in their communities by having these data centers here when we're not getting a lot of payoff for what they're paying. But, he's totally going to address that and be reasonable about it.
Mr. Secretary, a lot of Americans are skeptical of data centers. They've heard a lot of horror stories about various things. For the people who are watching right now who have concerns, what would you like to say to them?
Of course, there's a fear campaign going on right now. And why it's going on is the Democrats, since the election of President Obama, have spent 17 years pushing up electricity prices.
I'm sorry. That's what we're doing?
Obama.
We're going all the way back to blame Obama. What
would you like to say to them?
Of course, there's a fear campaign going on right now. And why it's going on is the Democrats, since the election of President Obama, have spent 17 years pushing up electricity prices. Blue states have 50% higher electricity prices than red states.
Now, I don't know where the 50% number comes from. I tried to look a little bit real quickly this morning. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I do know that the consensus is that blue states tend to have higher electricity cost than red states. That is true. The infrastructure tends to be better. There's a lot more regulations on gas and things like environmental factors regarding smoke and things like that. So those things will increase the energy prices. That is true. He said Obama. No, he didn't. Stop.
Going on right now. And why it's going on is the Democrats, since the election of President Obama, have spent
He kind of did. He kind of did. Oh, Obama. Oh, Obama.
17 years pushing up electricity prices. Blue states have 50% higher electricity prices than red states. And now they figure they've got the perfect scapegoat. It wasn't our bad green policies. It was data centers that did it.
You know, Mr. Secretary, a lot of...
It's not a scapegoat. It is a mitigating factor on an already high energy cost in the United States. Data centers are making that worse, not better. It is not some poster child for like, all of this is because of data centers. That would be silly, and nobody is claiming that. I do not understand that in way of that claim, but sure. Piano, you said water is on the stock exchange. Yes, I do know that. I also know that one of my favorite movies, The Big Short, when you're talking about Christian Bale's character, the man who originally found, like one of the men who originally found that the stock market, the housing market specifically, was not as stable as everybody wanted to say it was, and that it was going to crash, and started shorting it and made a shit ton of money off of it. He started shorting water. But just the fact in and of itself that water is a part of the stock exchanges is insane to me. Like, it's a necessity for people to survive, but let's put it on the stock exchange. Wild. Right, Mark. Yeah, inflation. I would actually agree with you. I would say inflation is an issue. Inflation is what is increasing that rise in energy on top of, again, other factors. There's always going to be nuance into that. The inflation doesn't help. The inflation is the rate with which the cost increases, but you have things like the war in Iran. You have things like trying to put tariffs on Canada, where a lot of northern states get energy from, right? You have a lot of issues with that. Okay, pivoting out, but before we pivot to a brand new section, I'm going to do another little mod announcement. Guys, thank you so much. Holy crap, we are definitely going to hit, I think. We're definitely going to hit that 100,000 before we hit 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and I appreciate you guys for that. You guys are working those fingers to the bone, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Continue doing it. We love to see it. I also have the little roses still. I couldn't find the finger hearts. I was trying to give you guys finger hearts because they're smaller. Couldn't find them. I looked like 3 times. But I have the roses. If we could start getting those accomplished, that would be great. And remember, I have one gift left in my gift gallery. I know it's a big one. I know it's the Flying Jets, and that's huge. But if you guys have extra TikTok change that you can send, that would be amazing. Thank you. For that, I would appreciate it. If you're watching over on YouTube and you have not hit that thumbs up button, hit that thumbs up button for me. If you're watching over on Twitch and haven't hit the follow button, I would appreciate it if you do. Thank you to the new followers that I have. The opinion line, I see that you followed, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you. And guys, I have play the sound. What sound? What sound? What sound? What I sent you? Oh, just now? Oh.
Let me live in my denial.
That is insanity.
Let me live in my denial.
That's where MAGA is now. That is where MAGA is now. Then just don't come up and talk about it then. If you just want to live in Delulu land, that's fine. But just do that then. Guys, I have 128 left in my goal. Can we start working on that, please, with about 2 hours left to go? Dollar Train, $2 Train, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in the link trees in my bio so that we can start working on that, please. I would appreciate it. Eli, I will check live chat as well. Hi, Chicky.
I just want to get permission to hang out here while this good Samaritan is helping me with a flat tire that I just got.
Oh no!
Yeah, he waved me off the street like, "Hey, your tire's flat." I couldn't tell if my tire was flat.
Oh my god!
So he's changing it.
You have a spare,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
It's
did
just
you
under
did
the
you have
fucking-
the? Why did I just forget the name? The thing, or did he have
So
it?
Yeah, I had one.
The
and he
Jack.
had
It's a
one too.
Jack. It's called the Jack.
He's literally a work, like he was on a work truck.
Oh,
I got lucky.
I'm so glad that you're not just driving around with a flat.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I just want to hang out.
Okay. Oh, yep. That was the one. Eli sent it in the live chat too. Same thing. Got it. Okay. Okay. So as we do that, I did my mod announcement. Thank you guys. You guys hit 100,000. See, just by doing that, you guys worked harder and got 100,000. Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. Let's keep working on it because that means that you're ahead. You're ahead, so stay ahead. Keep doing the thing. Let's move to immigration. I have quite a few, so some of it might be old because I have a lot of stuff. So this is an interesting story. We're getting more and more court cases in regards to immigration that are just really, really, really interesting. Okay. A judge ruled about a violation of due process in a case after they had signed to self-deport. He asked ICE to let him leave. He had a one-way plane ticket to leave. His self-deportation, he had to leave before June 11th. His one-way airplane ticket was for June 10th. ICE re-detained him, saying he missed the deadline. And so the judge is saying you violated due process. So here's part of it. As always, is Kyle Cheney, so he does link the entire case in case you want to read it, so I will have that there for you. In the run-up to June 11th, three main things happened. First, the petitioner's counsel emailed the respondents several times confirming that the petitioner, quote, needed to depart by June 11th. Petition Exhibit D at 19, asking to coordinate his departure and requesting that the petitioner be allowed to travel on June 10th in order to comply with his voluntary departure order. Quote, how to proceed with assuring that the petitioner is able to follow the judge's order. Second, the petitioner bought a one-way plane ticket from New York to Colombia set to depart on June 10th. He bought the ticket. It existed. And third, ICE did not permit the petitioner to depart on or before June 11th. Respondents answer, instead, the petitioner was kept in custody and the voluntary departure deadline came and went. Because the petitioner failed to depart by June 11th, the respondents argue that he is now subject to a final order of removal, which means that he must be detained on a mandatory basis under 8 U.S.C. 1231, and perhaps that certain statutory penalties can now be imposed on him. So, you want to sit here and say that these people are self-deporting, they're making the decision to self-deport, and if they are, that's fine. He bought the ticket, he planned to leave, you kept him in custody so he could not get to the airport, and now you're trying to punish him for not being able to get to the airport on his self-deportation. Make that shit make sense. See, it even says, as the Supreme Court has noted, when the government grants a non-citizen the option to voluntarily depart, it effectively makes detention and removal contingent. Officials may detain and remove the individual only if he remains in the country after his voluntary departure period has expired. But you didn't let him leave. See? That's what I just read. In light of the above, the petitioner filed the current habeas petition, arguing, among other things, that his detention violates the Due Process Clause of the Constitution. This is the third habeas petition the petitioner has filed in this district. This gets it right. Per the Immigration Court's May 12th order, the petitioner was to leave the United States by June 11th, but he has instead remained in the United States because the respondents have kept him detained. How are you going to say he could leave? And then you didn't let him leave. Wow, guy. Okay, he shouldn't have been here. I agree with you. He should not have been here. He agreed to leave. Why didn't the government release him with his plane ticket to let him leave? He said, I'll leave. I will leave. I have a plane ticket. Why didn't they let him leave? They violated his due process. Sorry to tell you that. On to the next one. By the way, I don't have that story on here, but a man who chose to self-deport back to Guatemala, his wife, who had a pending asylum application, chose to follow him. They went to Guatemala. Their bodies were just found bound and shot to death in Guatemala. So we love that. We're definitely sending them back to places that are deemed safe again. That's totally happening. Love our humanitarian efforts in the United States. Greatest country in the world. Back to more mistakes. The administration mistakenly deports a man to El Salvador attempting to facilitate his return. Where have we heard that word before? Facilitate his return as he is imprisoned and his family has had no contact. Again, thank you, Kyle Cheney. As always, I will show you. I will read the relevant pieces, but he has the entire thing linked for you to be able to read. On November 13, 2025, the respondents removed the petitioner to Mexico. On November 14, 2025, Petitioner's Counsel informed the court of petitioner's removal. The court held a hearing on the matter on the same day in which respondents' counsel confirmed that petitioner was mistakenly removed to Mexico, and respondents have initiated efforts to facilitate his return to the U.S. He has, what is that called? A withhold of removal. In January 2026, respondents removed petitioner to El Salvador in violation of the immigration judge's order granting petitioner withholding of removal to that country. In May, petitioner informed the court that Salvadorian authorities had immediately imprisoned him upon his arrival in El Salvador. Salvadorian authorities have transferred petitioner between prisons, and his family has not been provided information regarding his current location, his condition, or whether he is alive. I don't know why we're talking about El Salvador. Oh, I see what happened. They deported him to El Salvador. God damn it, they're stupid. They deported him to Mexico, which he wasn't allowed to be deported to. They then re-deported him to El Salvador, which you're also not allowed to send him to. And his lawyer and his family can't get in touch with him. Again, 9 pages. You can read through it. The constant violations of due process, the constant mistakes, administrative errors that this administration is doing because of their fast-paced, fast-tracked, bull-in-a-china shop shit that they're trying to do in way of boosting mass immigration numbers to get you guys hard with your bigotry. Didn't follow due process coming into the country. That's not how that works, David. That's not how that works, David. So then we had information. A former federal prosecutor, Tom Calhoun Lopez, federal prosecutor, who left and resigned from the Minnesota U.S. Attorney's Office after the killing of Renee Good. Just a small clip that he did in an interview that he did with CNN.
Beginning in December, the administration had an unprecedented wave of immigration enforcements in the Twin Cities. But Operation Metro Surge was different. From the beginning, it was conducted in a paramilitary posture. Hundreds of agents were flooding in from out of district. They weren't familiar with Minnesota communities. They were heavily armed. They were in masks. They patrolled in combat gear. And their ethos was of a military occupying force. Their mission seemed to be to subdue the state and to bring it to heel.
You know from occupation because you're a veteran.
That's correct. I deployed to Iraq twice, once as a field artillery officer and once as an Army judge advocate.
And it reminded you of that kind of occupation?
It did. Through 2 different deployments, I got to see what a military occupation looked like. And unfortunately, Operation Metro Surge had all the hallmarks of a military occupation. Beginning in December.
So he left because he did not like what they were doing. Audrey's here. Hi.
Hi, Cheeky. Hi, Moni. Sorry, that comment tickled my brain because I had made a video on that I don't know, months ago about somebody that's running either for their state, local government in Texas, and I laughed the fuck at her. Anyway, so due process. All right. You're right. They didn't have due process when they entered the country because, I frequently make it an effort to go to the cops and tell them, hey, I plan to rob this bank down the street on me before I go and rob the bank, because that's the only way you would have due process prior to committing a crime. Due process is when they arrest you.
But also,
when they try to restrict you.
If you're going to do 5th Amendment, if you're going to do 14th Amendment, if you're going to do subject to the jurisdiction thereof, that moment between your foot coming from the border into there, you wouldn't be jurisdiction. So of course you didn't follow due process because the due process didn't apply until after you entered.
Also that, because it's the funny thing is this lady really thought she hit because he kind of did the same thing. She's like, no due process coming in. No due process going out. That's not due process. Also, a background check is not due process. Here, let me explain this. No, this is the best part. I actually love this one a lot, right? So when it comes to background checks, the only method of, quote, due process you get with background checks is when they send you an adverse action notice for you to explain something on your credit report that might withhold you from employment. It is not prior to doing it. Like,
it's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. You can't violate due process beforehand because you're not part of the jurisdiction, not part of the court process or the judicial process. So no. Like, you guys don't understand what you're talking about.
I love you guys. Just please, like, I'm not an attorney. I don't pretend to be an attorney, but can we put a thinking cap on, please?
No, David never does, and David never calls. And David just said, follow the law, only if the ones Democrats deem fit. I have always said follow all the laws. You guys just don't understand how the law is applicable. You want to deem people illegal. I am the law. You want to deem people illegal before they have been convicted of said crime. You don't get to do that. Guess what? Innocent until proven guilty. That's just how that works. I am following the law.
Let them believe in their denial, okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. This one?
I just want to believe the things that I say. Why don't you just let me believe the things that I say?
And this one?
Let me live in my denial.
I cannot tell you how much, like, I was just finishing up my night chores. That's an inside joke, so don't worry. And I literally went into the chat, and this was on, of course, TikTok, and I was like, clip that, please. And he probably won't, but I was just like, oh my God, that's hilarious. It's like the fact that somebody said it out loud.
Aw, David.
I'm in my denial.
David, illegal immigration is illegal, and the weather outside is weather. The fuck was that supposed to explain to me? The sun is doing sun activities, just in case you didn't know.
Oh. The illegal is illegal. So you can't use the word in the definition of the word.
It's gonna be that kind of day. It's gonna be that kind of day.
Okay, I go back inside the AC.
Okay, Democratic Representative Dan Goldman was in Congress. I'm not sure exactly what this meeting was about or this hearing, but it doesn't matter. We're going to listen to this speech, which is the conversation about the fact that Donald Trump's, and I show this on purpose because of the mistakes and administrative errors that I've just shown you because of this administration's policy on, break a few eggs to make an omelet kind of thing, which doesn't work with human rights and also legal rights within our Constitution. But that they lied. They lied to you about worst of the worst. They lied to you about only going after the criminals. They completely lied about that. They're just going after anybody.
What is problematic here is that my colleagues on the other side of the aisle are using anecdotal stories that are horrific and are not supported by anyone on this side of the aisle.
I'll let him finish in just a second. I have to read this. It came on my screen and I have to read it. Can I get W's to Scuba Steve? First of all, for another $10, W's to Scuba Steve for the 10. You said, fuck ice, even vanilla ice. Specifically vanilla ice. Like specifically him.
Nor have they ever been, as using these few examples to try to create the rule. But they are the exception by leaps and bounds. And if we are talking about who is actually committing crime in this country, it is generally not undocumented immigrants, certainly not at the same rate as US-born citizens. US-born citizens are more than 2 times more likely than undocumented immigrants to be arrested for violent crimes, 2.5 times more likely to be arrested for drug crimes, and over 4 times more likely to be arrested for property crimes. So it is not, the data just doesn't support this idea that anybody is choosing undocumented immigrants over American citizens. And why my colleague from Washington and the ranking member are so correct in identifying the flaw in this resolution and in this argument is that even if you, on the other side, my colleagues, are correct, nobody is, in this administration, is going after the worst of the worst. You're not, I shouldn't say, DHS, ICE is not going after the convicted criminals. You are picking out a few examples that are sensationalized and trying to extrapolate. But the reality is that...
Now, this is something that MAGA always does, right? You bring forth cases of horrific crime done by undocumented immigrants. And I would agree with you. Absolutely fucking heinous. Absolutely awful. But like Dan Goldman says, you try to then extrapolate. I know that's a big word for Elmo. What that means is you take those few cases and you paint with a broad brush the entire immigrant population. That's where the problem lies. Go after those people who commit the crime. The thing is you guys think that by completely shutting down the border, which by the way is against the law, and getting out every single person, which by the way right now is against the law, that you are going to somehow prevent crime. And yet here we are sitting knowing the factually based information that U.S. citizens per capita commit more crime and more violent crime than undocumented immigrants. And yet, so you want to trap us in with the community of people who is harming us. And you don't want to do anything about that. No. You don't want to do anything about gun violence towards children. No. Domestic violence within households. No. Bernie Moreno is a senator in the United States Congress. It's all good. It's all good. Yay. Yay!
Pretty chicky. Dude, there's like a fucking monsoon happening right now, and he was just out there working
Aww.
it. And then he gave me the business cards.
I love that. I love that.
No, that was great. That was great. All right, you can drop me.
Okay, I love you. We're making sure Chicky was safe. But Senator Bernie Moreno, his daughter is in a situation right now of alleged domestic violence where a man by the name of Max Miller, who is running for Congress, held her at gunpoint and also poured boiling water on her, and also her child has a broken clavicle. And yet the Republicans won't talk about that. You won't extrapolate that, but you'll extrapolate on documented immigrants that we know are not committing a higher rate of crime. You're not going to prevent crime in that way. You're just not. It is racism. That's all that this is. So let's go back to him talking about what the reality is.
Extrapolate. But the reality is that 92% of detainees in a Wall Street Journal study from September 21st through January 7th, 92% had no criminal convictions. And that doesn't even break it down by serious criminal convictions that would be removable under the INA. So if this administration were actually going after the worst of the worst, as they promised, and as they continue to say, then we would be having a very different discussion.
Of course, because nobody is going to defend criminals. Nobody's going to do that. Why would you? If you are. Ew, that's gross. Surgeon, thank you so much for the gifted sub to the opinion line over there in Twitch. I appreciate that. Thank you for the gifted sub. All right. Let's go to Tom Homan. Now, I've shown Tom Homan a lot. He doesn't have a real job within the administration. As we've said, he has been titled border czar. Whatever that means. It's not a real governmental position within DHS, ICE, CBP. It's not a real position. And what we are seeing, though, is that, to me, he's a spokesman. Like, that's what he is. He is the DHS spokesman, even though they actually have a position that's classified as that somebody else holds. But he kind of is the sucker that they put out. Well, he's not even a real person. He's somebody that they put out to try to explain away what's going on within DHS. He has done it since Kristi Noem. He is doing it now with Mark Wayne Babyback Bitch McMullins. The issue that we're having most recently is a lot of his interviews that he has been doing is coming out and him saying he doesn't know these things. He has turned into Mike Johnson all of a sudden, and he does not seem to know these things. So we go to an interview he did with Dana Bash, asking specifically about these officers in regards to the fatal shooting in Maine and the fatal shooting in Texas. Are they on administrative leave? What's going on with that? Because you seem to be overseeing, right? Per Stephen Miller's orders, overseeing what's going on within DHS, even though you're not in charge of DHS. What is going on with that administrative leave? Because what is your job if you don't know anything?
First, do you know
I'm talking too fast? Keep up.
specifically what happened to the officers involved in the Texas and Maine shootings? Have they been reassigned, placed on administrative leave? What's their status?
I don't know specifically. I haven't been involved with investigations, but
Why are you here? Like, what is his job? Did he just take this position to ensure that Pam Bondi dropped the investigation about the $50,000 that he received in a kava bag from the FBI? Is that the only reason he took that job? Because that's what it's sounding like. What do you mean you don't know? Here, Tom Homan talks nice and slow for you.
Involved in the Texas and Maine shootings, have they been reassigned, placed on administrative leave? What's their status?
I don't know specifically. I haven't been involved with investigations, but it'd be policy that they be put on administrative leave during the shooting investigation. That's the policy of the agency.
Okay, but you don't know. Randy, you said I'm getting my feelings hurt for lying. What did I lie about?
Okay, but you don't, as borders are involved in this, you don't know for sure if they have been?
No, ICE has an acting director, Dave Venturella, and they report to Mark Wayne Mullen, the secretary. I've said from day one I won't comment on investigation, but I can tell you, I haven't specifically tracked these cases, but I can tell you per policy.
How not? How have you not specifically tracked these cases? They have been in the news. You're telling me you haven't had any meetings as your job as borders are to have these conversations? Mark Troublefield, you said I'm brainwashing my 12-year-old. I don't have a 12-year-old. Whose 12-year-old am I brainwashing? I don't have one.
Policy, they're usually put on administrative leave pending the investigation, pending, sworn statements, internal affairs interviews, and the entire investigation they usually will not be put back
the comments
on
got
duty
you.
until the investigation is over and either been cleared, or if they got problems, then they may not go back at all.
Court documents.
If they've got problems, they might not go back at all. The issue with that is that two people are dead. Two people are dead now because of that. More to Tom Homan. He is asked if there was abuse from an agent in Maine. Should he have been approved for the vetting? How did he get through the vetting? Because what we were finding out specifically about the agent in Maine, coming from his ex-wife and his daughter, is that he was abusive. I hit a 12-year-old. Yeah, Cinderella. You don't have a Cinderella of your own that you hide in the attic? Sorry, Mark is a friend. Mark is a friend. To be fair, there's two good Marks, and then there's like a bad Mark. And I forget sometimes because it's just like Mark. So that is my fault. I apologize, Mark Troublefield. You said you're team me all day. I'm team you all day as well. I'm sorry. That's my fault. My bad. Look, I'll say and sign. That's how we. But we're getting information on the agent in Maine who fatally shot the man who was legally allowed to be here with work authorization, about the fact that he was abusive. So how did he even pass this vetting process in the first place?
Court documents reveal one of the ICE officers connected to the fatal shooting in Maine was accused of abuse by two ex-wives. One of his ex-wives told my colleague Erin Burnett that she experienced severe domestic violence in her marriage and that he always displayed violent behavior, and even that if anything ever happened to her, he'd be the one to look at. I should say he denied the allegations, but at one point a judge ordered him to temporarily relinquish any firearms. Should someone with those issues be an ICE agent?
No, if those are facts, I don't think he should ever cleared vetting. When they hire somebody, put them through.
So then why aren't you questioning how he did? I agree. Somebody like that, with that kind of history, who was even ruled that he shouldn't have access to a firearm, should not have been able to pass the vetting to become an ICE agent. How did he? And why have you not looked into that? What's your job again?
Vetting process and look at all that stuff. So I know based on that information.
Bobby, God, you guys are so brainwashed. You're so brainwashed. CNN, Communist News Network. It's not about the network itself. It's about what Tom Homan's answers are. He works for the administration.
That's part of the ongoing investigation. How did the vetting process fail? Was that information not available? Did they not know? So there's a separate.
How didn't they know? You're telling me a federal agency was so bad at background checks, they didn't find this information that the media found within, what, it was probably 24 hours?
Administrative investigation on what happened here.
Illuminati.
Did we have that information? Did we not have information? But vetting process, if that was factual, he would have a almost impossible time to pass vetting.
How the fuck? How would they not have that information? How would they not have that information? W's again to Scuba Steve for the $5. He said, stop, collaborate, and listen. Fuck you, ICE. That was a good one. That one made me happy. W Scuba Steve. Guys, remember, we are working on that goal, and Scuba Steve seems to be the one working on it the hardest, which we appreciate so very, very much. But let's make sure that we, that everybody else is helping work on it too, guys. We pay for labor in this community, and my labor is important and needs to be paid for. Socialism. So let's make sure we're working on that dollar train, $2 train, $5 train, $113 train. I'm just kidding. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in the link tree in my bio across all 3 platforms is where you can find it. Let's start working on that while we're sitting here, guys. If you're on TikTok, you guys are doing fantastic with the taps. I can't believe you. You either all are just like zooming the flash through it with your fingers, or you all bought auto tappers. I'm not sure which one it is. Either way, I don't care. Thank you. I appreciate it so very much. We also have the little DJ spins up there that we can get accomplished as well. Slowly start knocking those out. That would be wonderful. As we keep going, guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you have not hit that thumbs up button for me yet, please do so, even if you're hate watching. It does just help push us out onto the algorithm. I would appreciate it. And thank you guys for chatting it up over in the Twitch chat. That does help as well. Just that constant motion that the platform is getting activity. Cool. Standing on a vibration plate while tapping. What's that? What's that? Oh, Jenny, what's the, I'm just thinking, what's the gif of Rihanna? Like, it's like that. That's what you guys are doing? That's how it's working? Ooh, I love that. All right, this one's going to make you mad. Not that all of these ones don't fucking make you mad, because they make me mad too, so I totally get it. Tom Homan is going to talk about mistakes within DHS and ICE specifically.
So I wouldn't say now that we're evaluating some additional training that mistakes were made. We'll see. It's all being reviewed. We'll see where it lies.
Well,
I wouldn't say, now that we're evaluating some additional training, that mistakes were made. You don't think mistakes were made? Multiple people are dead, but mistakes weren't made?
So I wouldn't say now that we're evaluating some additional training that mistakes were made. We'll see. It's all being reviewed. We'll see where it lies.
Well, we've seen with our own eyes mistakes were made, deadly mistakes were made. At least 5 of them.
What is wrong with them? What is wrong with them? Thank you, Dead Internet Theory, for the bit. I appreciate that. I remembered to pop out the chat so I could show it today. I remembered to do it. So let's go into, I have an article and I have a video on both. So we're going to go over the headline of the article real quick, and then I'll play a little bit from the video of the CBS interview that he did. Now, as Tasty Cake pointed out the other day, and as Jay pointed out the other day, or no, maybe not Tasty Cake. I might be putting that wrong on him. Let me apologize. It was Jay. As Jay pointed out in praise, the administration is going to be ramping up their efforts, their DHS efforts in Ohio for the Haitians who have had their TPS removed thanks to the Supreme Court. And again, I said that made sense because the executive branch has so much power in regards to the determination of TPS. If we want to change that as something that has to legislatively be changed in Congress to ensure that power is not solely on the executive branch, but has some sort of underlying need for committee or judicial review or something like that, that would have to be changed that way. So it made sense. The decision made sense whether you agree with it or not. But Ohio's GOP governor calls Trump's plans to deport Haitians a, quote, mistake. You'd be sending people back to hell. Republican Ohio Governor Mike DeWine told CBS News the Trump administration's plan to ramp up arrests and deportations of Haitian migrants is a mistake, arguing the move could bruise the state's economy and risk putting Haitians in danger in their home country. More than 300,000 people from Haiti are set this week to lose temporary protected status, a humanitarian immigration program that protects them from deportation and allows them to work. After the Supreme Court upheld the Trump administration's plan to end the policy for Haitians, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has drawn up plans to launch a deportation blitz focused on Haitian migrants as early as this week, which, by the way, just means they're going to start stopping black people. Yeah, because the governor asked them to come to his state. Yeah. They asked the Haitian people to come. I agreed. Tasty Cake, I just said that. On temporary. And that temporary status is based solely on an executive branch review. I agree. The problem is that the people doing the reviews are politically inclined for Trump for the most part. But again, SCOTUS ruling was simply based off of the fact that the executive branch holds that power. No, you're right, Tasty Cake. And I said, as much as you and I disagree on things, I apologize for that. You did not bring it up. It was Jay, a previous guest from before. It was not you. So I apologize for putting that on your name, because that's not true. Vincent? No. W Super Magnum for the $5 super chat. He said, is it true that Trump shits his pants? I don't know. I'm actually probably one of the only people that I've seen that's fair about this. When people show the clips of him allegedly farting and allegedly shitting his pants, a lot of the times that coincides with him rocking back and forth. So I honestly think it could be the sound of his shoes. Sorry. I hate him too. I can shit on him as much as the next person. I played the clip of him missing the Tic Tac into his mouth yesterday. Him falling asleep yesterday. All those things are funny to me. But in way of him actually farting and shitting himself, I don't know. I don't know. The operations could focus in part on the thousands of Haitians who live in Ohio, many of whom have settled in the city of Springfield in recent years. During the 2024 campaign, President Trump claimed without evidence that Haitian immigrants in the city were eating cats and dogs. He talks about it in his interview, as you can go into. DeWine also pointed to the dire security situation in Haiti, a deeply impoverished country that has dealt with years of political instability with gangs controlling large swaths of territory. The country is mired in virtual chaos, the governor said, with no semblance of government, leading the U.S. State Department to warn Americans not to travel there. Haiti is hell today, so you'd be sending people back to hell, DeWine said. Very few of these Haitians will voluntarily go back to Haiti. If they have to leave, they'll go someplace else. They want to work. They want to support their family. They don't want to go back to Haiti. Haiti has been designated under temporary protected status since 2010 when the island nation was devastated by an earthquake. That status has been renewed periodically since then, allowing hundreds of thousands of Haitian migrants to remain in the United States. In 2024, the Biden administration extended the status, pointing to the country's violence and instability. So it started because of an earthquake. It was extended because of violence happening in the country. The Department of Homeland Security moved to terminate TPS. They were able to do so. SCOTUS ruled in their favor. I don't need to do that. DeWine has pushed back on Mr. Trump's stance toward Haitian migrants in the past. In a 2024 interview with CBS, he called the president's claims about Haitians eating pets something that came up in the internet, and the internet can be quite crazy sometimes. He noted that local officials have said there is no evidence to back up the claims. At the time, DeWine said the influx of as many as 15,000 immigrants in and around a city of less than 60,000 residents has caused some challenges, including to the local healthcare system, but he said Haitian migrants have filled a lot of jobs and work very, very hard. So they see them as a benefit, at least Governor DeWine does. I will play a snippet of that interview. Obviously, I can't. I could play more than that, but then I usually get flagged because CBS is pretty litigious and YouTube is like, absolutely not. You need to clip that out. And so then I have to clip it out. So I'm just going to play this small portion for you.
We just reported, Governor, that ICE is planning to mount a series of operations, including here in Ohio, to target, arrest, and ultimately deport some of the Haitian immigrants who are set to lose their legal status here. What is your initial reaction to that?
Well, it's a mistake. It's not good for the United States, and it's not good for the state of Ohio. These are people who have helped Springfield really come back. Springfield has been making a real comeback. The Haitians who are living there and employed there, they came there to work.
Got you.
And they came there because there were jobs that were not being filled by other people. And so if you talk to the employers in Springfield who are employing the Haitians, they will tell you that. These are people who have opened restaurants, they've opened other businesses, they've rehabbed houses, they've created jobs as well as filled jobs. And so to lose them and have them not be able to work anymore and possibly taken out of this country is frankly a blow to Springfield, and it's a blow to the state of Ohio. If you look at the growth we've had in Ohio, we've had some growth. 60% of that growth has come from immigrants.
And sir, have you received any notification, any communication from ICE about these?
That's wild, by the way. 60% of the economic growth has come from immigrants, and you're just going to go get them? Okay.
Planned operations?
I received no notification, no.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all as far as what they're going to do.
And he's a Republican governor, and they're not giving him a heads up of their fucking plan because he disagrees with them. That's why. Let's bring up a local. Hi.
Hi, babes. I just have great timing. I literally just scrolled in, and there's Mike DeSwine. Listen, I'm not a fan of Mike DeSwine. However, I will give him credit for this one issue. He has been fighting really, really hard for specifically the Haitians here in Springfield, because what you said is correct. I've lived here all 43 years of my life, and after
You're
the earthquake,
43?
I am. I turned
You
43 in
look so
February.
much younger than that.
Honey, that's filter and lighting. Come on now. We know the internet is not real, Moni. Let's be real. Come on.
It's fair.
It's
okay,
not
I
real.
apologize. I interrupted you. I was just shocked.
No, it's okay. So yeah, like I have watched our roads being fixed, especially in my very specific side of town here, on the west end, been constantly under construction. That money, strictly from an economic standpoint, they have brought life back to this town. We have an ice skating rink, which Springfield was a desert town. All we had as far as like entertainment was Snyder Park, and it's not really a park anymore. It's really gross down there. So we're facing an economic thing that we don't really know how to prepare for. I just recently went to one of the restaurants that they opened. They have just if you haven't had Haitian food, you are missing out.
Not actually. I need to find it here locally.
Yes,
If anybody has
listen.
Colorado recommendations for a place to get Haitian food, I'm so down.
Absolutely, because until recently, I had never had Haitian food, and I was like, holy crap, I've been missing out on fucking Flavor Town.
Spices, what are these?
Seasoning, hello? Where have you been all my life? But more to that, but like I look, for example, I know this is all anecdotal, that's all I can bring to this conversation. There's a house there's an alley behind my house, and then the next block over, this old it was an older house. It was a very big house, and it was dilapidated, and it sat abandoned and crumbling and falling apart for years and years and years. And it just recently, over the last 2 years, was bought by Haitian immigrants who, by the way, are here legally.
Right. Also,
they bought it. They have fixed it up. They've turned it into a family home. They're paying property taxes. Those property taxes help fund our children's school. That's a big thing. Our schools are going to suffer. And we were already struggling. We were trying to pull ourselves up out of the muck. And now we are just sitting back on our heels. Like, what do we do? And then on top of the fact that I have personal knowledge of women, Haitian women in our town, who are quite literally Anne Franking their babies. They're making arrangements to hide their children because they don't want to be forced to take them to a country they've never been to, and to a country that's not safe.
No.
Americans are prohibited from traveling to Haiti because it's not safe. But we're going to force these people and their children to go to it's beyond cruel. Nothing about this economically or humanitarily makes any fucking sense. Any at all.
Yeah, it's going to be heartbreaking to watch because I'm sure it's going to be televised live for the world when they do decide to go in, or they taco and back out. We'll see, hopefully.
Right. And that's the thing here. Like, I know everyone, we all watched what happened play out live on TV in Minneapolis, right? That's a blue state, blue city. Springfield is a red city and a very red state right now. We don't have that kind of support. Those of us who can help are going to do whatever we can, but it's not going to look the same as it did in Minneapolis. We don't know what it's going to look like, and that's the really scary part. We don't know when this is going to happen. They've already been talking about a surge. So we're just left to sit back and wait.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. It's not fun.
Well, thank you for bringing your perspective. And I guess any info that you get, I know that you will just like share across everybody so that we can share it out too.
Hold on, listen. Yeah, if you're not following this account, follow this one, but make sure you're following my backup because I say the things that I say that TikTok doesn't want to hear. They get rid of me a lot. But I am TikTok herpes. I'm never going away. Just make sure you're following all of the accounts. But yes, I will. I definitely will keep everybody posted on that.
The amount of times that I've raided you, and I'm like, oh, let's raid Twista, and I have to ask, I'm like, which one is she on?
Which account am I on? Listen, at this point, that's the biggest flex I have on here. Second only to the night I got a man in front of 1,500 people to call me daddy. But that's another story for another time. Love you, darling.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Love Crystal. We love Crystal here. I saw somebody, was it Wolverine or Wolverine? I apologize. I thought it was Wolverine. You said if I'm near Aurora, there's great Haitian and Jamaican places down there. Again, I grew up in North Aurora, actually. That is where I grew up. It's no longer where I live. I'm in Colorado, but I don't live in Aurora anymore. But it is, if you've ever been to Colorado, everything is kind of a 30-minute hop, skip, and a jump. So, 25 minutes and I'm in Aurora. So if anybody has legitimate like recommendations for Haitian or Jamaican food down there in Aurora, I'll have my husband go pick it up. Because, yum. Okay, so... let me see, make sure I have all of these. W's to Scuba Steve for the $6. Check out the hook while Monty revolves it. Fuck ice. Thank you so much. Jolie, thank you so much for the $2 train. Let's get this train going and F ice. I'll say fuck ice. Lindsay, holy crap. Oh my God, I just said your name. I'm not gonna say your other name. I'm not gonna say your other name, so we leave it alone. Thank you so much for the $25 from your friend with the purple heart. I love you so much. Thank you so much for that support. I hope you are doing well. And thank you, Ari, for the mute for Tasty Cake and then just supporting me as well. So thank you for the $2 for the day to mute Tasty Cake and the $18 for the rest of the day. So guys, Tasty Cake is muted in the chat for the rest of the day. We appreciate that. Let me do the math on this real quick, and then I see that Tasty Cake is in the box. So just give me a second to do math, because we know I can do this. That's 51, 53. It's 53, right? Yeah, I think so. Guys, gets us down to 60. You guys. I appreciate that so very much. Let me just write this down real quick. Something I gotta remember for later. Okay. There. We're set up. Hey, Tasty Cake, what's up?
Come on, what's up? How's it going?
Going pretty well. How are you?
I'm not too bad. It's almost Friday. I actually was gonna come up here and say I was muted, but no one paid. But I guess Ari did.
It just came.
He's on my case, man. But all right, I'll mosey on down.
All right. Well,
I'll chop it up with you later. Have a good one.
Bye. Sometimes I'm just late to my donos. That's on me. But who's Ari? I don't know. Do you want to be Ari or Howdy or what do you want your name to be today, Ari? We need all these different personas. I need to see what outfits they wear for the different personas that you have going on. I just wonder what that looks like. You vote Howdy? Okay. Okay, couple more things in immigration and then we can move on to the complete chaos that is the rest of my outline that's not quite organized, but we're there. We talked about the death in Texas of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, and we're going to talk about it again because ICE came out and claimed that they found bags of what appeared to be methamphetamine in his car. Well, Bags and vehicle of man fatally shot by ICE did not contain drugs, the Texas DA says. A substance investigators found in a van driven by a man fatally shot by ICE earlier this month was not an illegal narcotic, so you guys can stop using that one now. The Harris County District Attorney's Office said on Friday, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, a 51-year-old father of 3, was fatally shot by an a law enforcement officer during a July 7th traffic stop the agency said turned life-threatening. Have yet to see the evidence of life-threatening, but we're waiting. The government has alleged he weaponized the vehicle, but that argument has been disputed by others in the van. Not only by others in the van, but by the video footage that we have available. Granted, it's not a lot. I would like to see further evidence, but of the evidence that we have available, he was never behind them to be able to weaponize his vehicle against them. After the fatal shooting, an FBI agent said small bags consistent with drug packaging that contained a substance resembling methamphetamine could be seen in plain view inside the vehicle. The Bureau obtained a search warrant, allowing agents to search the van. The Harris County District Attorney's Office said Friday on X that the seized substance tested negative for narcotics/illicit drugs. It said it would not comment further on the results, citing the pending investigation. Now, what we have heard from his sons is that he kept a bag of electrolytes. He kept bags of electrolytes in his car to put into the water bottles that he would buy in bulk for the jobs that he would do with his employees, right? So he would keep it so that they could pour it into the water bottles during the day so that they would keep their electrolytes up while they were working. We have notified Salgado Araujo's family because we felt they had the right to know, the DA's office said. David Donati, senior staff attorney at the ACLU of Texas, said in a statement Friday that Salgado Araujo was a hardworking man who built houses for Texas families. The government has demonstrated that it is more interested in creating a false narrative than in seeking the truth. I agree with that because they want to desperately put out that it was drugs so that they can say, see, justifies his death. Here's the thing. Even if it was drugs, even if it was, the death sentence for holding drugs is not death. Or the death sentence. The sentence for holding drugs is not death. It does not excuse shooting and killing him. That's what they want, because it's very easy for you guys to do for yourselves, is to pretzel yourselves to approve that. But you can't. Thank you so much, Super Magnum, for the chili jewels. It doesn't justify death. It just doesn't. Ruby L. Powers, a lawyer who represents Victor Salgado Araujo's brother, who was taken into custody following the shooting, said previously that the substance was believed to be granulated salt, which is paired with lemon and water as a homemade electrolyte mix used by outdoor workers in extreme heat. Powers said Friday that full lab results expected next week will confirm what the substance was. An unproven claim was allowed to circulate before it was tested, and the way it was made public did real damage, diverting attention from what actually matters in this case, she said. Lorenzo was shot, and no lab report answers for that. Exactly. It doesn't matter what it was. Did you have the right to shoot him? Doesn't sound like it. So I had that one on it, and then this is the Harris County. I just wanted to show you the Harris County confirmation on their Twitter. Harris County District Attorney's Office. We can confirm the substance found in Lorenzo Salgado Araujo's van tested negative for narcotics/illicit drugs. We're not commenting further on the test results as the investigation is pending. We have notified Salgado Araujo's family because we felt they had the right to know. I just wanted to show you that you have proof for it. All right, last thing on immigration. USCIS is putting in a new rule for asylum. Bring this back. The Trump admin just published a new regulation allowing officers at asylum officers at USCIS to deny hundreds of thousands of applications without an interview, sending applicants directly to deportation proceedings. This means many people will never get a chance to argue their case. Is this going to end up in court? Fucking probably. But U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, interim final rule with request for comments. The Department of Homeland Security is amending its regulations to permit U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, to refer certain affirmative asylum applications to the Department of Justice Executive Office for immigration review without interview. USCIS still offers an interview prior to a grant or denial of asylum. That would be your credible fear screening. DHS is also removing the requirement that a letter communicating the basis for referral of asylum include an assessment of the alien's credibility. I was gonna sneeze. It was gonna happen. And it went away. I'm very, very mad about that. It's very frustrating. So again, things to keep track of, things to look out for will most likely end up in court. Okay. Let's get to some hodgepodge. Oh, God. W's to Chicky. Huge W's to Chicky for the 30. Said, meant to send this when goal was 130, but I was driving. Well, you know what? That works too. That works too. We're not gonna complain. Thank you so much, Chicky, for the 30. Guys, brings us down to 30, and we still have about an hour and 15 minutes left to go. As I see, we are doing on the taps. You guys are doing fucking fantastic. I am so fucking proud of you today. I'm glad you guys didn't want to be yelled at today. You guys just wanted some praise. I love that. A little head pat, a little praise, a little get down on your knees and mommy gives you a nice one, right? We like that. So thank you guys, because we will definitely get to 200,000 before the top of the hour if we keep going in the way that we are. Whitney, how do I feel about having a bingo card? I'm fine with it. I just need to figure it out. I just got to figure it out. I know there's like ones that can generate. I just need like suggestions. Maybe I just need people to put it in my Gen chat in my Discord or something so that I can come up with what kind of bingo card and what it says on it. That would be good. Eli, why are you like this to me? All right, let's go into the hodgepodge of some of the things that I have. This one is really just in a place by itself. So we're going to go over this one. This was from June 16th. So again, these are things I've had that I just haven't found a place for that we're going to talk about. Trump ramps up education departments dismantling with changes on special education and civil rights. Now remember, he cannot completely dismantle the Department of Education or dissolve the Department of Education without the approval from Congress. He does not seem to have that. They do not seem to be promoting to do that. So what he can do is do what he's doing, which is split it up between different departments and just slowly degrade it. It's disgusting. It's going to take years to fix. We hate that. Fuck. Okay, maybe I can read the first thing because it's not going to let me read the rest of it. President Donald Trump's administration on Tuesday accelerated its dismantling of the Education Department, delegating much of its work to protect the nation's at-risk students. The Department of Justice will take on enforcement of civil rights in education, while the Department of Health and Human Services will oversee special education, administration officials announced. With those moves, the Education Department has now carved away the vast majority of its functions for other agencies to handle. So we are giving civil rights in education to the Department of Justice and special education to the Department of Health and Human Services, coming from... I don't think I have an account. I'll fix that later. I'll fix that today. I don't want another email. I don't want another place to email me. But anyway, the point is that this is how they're attempting to dismantle it, is to split it underneath. And I just don't see that the DOJ has a great track record for enforcing civil rights, or RFK Jr. in HHS being able to handle children with special needs. So I just doesn't put my mind at ease at all. But here we are. They don't send many. I can always send you mine. Yeah, I just log in with yours. That's fine. I'll do that. Leave me alone. What'd you do now? A little praise, a little get down on your knees and mommy gives you a nice one. I hate it here. I'm getting bullied by my own community. Every single day. Every single day. Okay, we're gonna move to some internalized misogyny. Now, we don't we don't show a lot of Dean on my panel. I think he has a use, but we don't show a lot of it. But I wanted to show these clips that he did. Is this Jubilee? I don't watch Jubilee. I want to show these clips that happened. This was, what, over a month ago now? That he did this. It was like him versus a bunch of MAGA women, which is a weird scenario to get put into. Whatever. Hi, Raina. Raina, how are you? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? These clips are going to make you mad. I just want you to know. So he's talking to a bunch of women who identify themselves as MAGA. And this one is just in regards to the denialism of facts that we see, apparently, you know, just every single day, the facts that we see.
Let me live in my denial.
And they just want to deny them, so.
I do not believe it. Yes, take it out.
Don't worry, I got it preloaded.
Okay, good.
So the claim is that Trump is a misogynistic sexual predator. I think this is going to be opinionated. It's probably you guys can't see it, but it says Trump is a misogynistic sexual predator. Sexual predator. Yes, he was civilly liable in a court of law. Civilly liable in civil court, excuse me, for being a sexual abuser. She does not believe it, so let's go.
I do not believe it. Yes, take it out.
Don't worry, I got it preloaded.
Okay, good.
So you have done that. I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right. I want to make sure that everything is good. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Why don't we start there? Mike's yours.
Okay, well, he said that he probably sees them. It doesn't say they're naked there, so
It does.
They might have. No, it doesn't.
You said that they have no clothes on. When you have no clothes on, you're naked.
No, who said that they didn't have clothes on?
Donald Trump.
Trump did. They don't listen. They just they block. La, 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 la. They just don't listen to it. They just don't.
I just want to believe the things that I say. Why don't you just let me believe the things that I say?
Oh, I did it again. How do I do that? And how do I bring it back? How do I do that every single time? It doesn't close any of my windows, but it minimizes them. And I do it to myself every single time. Hold on. One sec. Okay, sorry. I don't know why I did that.
He didn't say that in the clip.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Okay, again, I want to hear it again.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay?
There you go.
Oh, well, it's he didn't actually say clothes, but
Yeah.
Fucking please! He was gonna say no clam chowder. They're standing there with no clam chowder. They're standing there with no clam chowder. No cloche. They're standing there with no cloche. Bitch. Please.
Again, I want to hear
That's
it
fine.
again.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay?
There you go.
Oh, well, it's he didn't actually say clothes, but
Yeah.
he said clothes.
I think it's important for us to be intelligent, rational people.
Okay,
so you say no clothes. And then Howard Stern says, so you're like a doctor.
I definitely don't agree
Why did
with
Howard
that?
Stern
Okay,
say you're
first
like a
off,
doctor? Because doctors get to see people naked.
Okay, I don't agree with that. But
I don't agree with that, but I'm about to pretzel to defend it. I'm about to give up all of my integrity as a woman to defend it. Here, watch me.
It actually bothers me because I thought about this, right? Because I've made this argument. Why? Because I watched Dean, right? And I watched Parker, and they use the exact same argumentation when they pull this clip. And I want to know, why haven't they ever thought, why is this not working? When you say something just as a response to, he obviously is trying to say close because it gets cut off. No. And I've actually used this argument, and people are so disingenuous, they still ignore it, right?
No, of course.
In order to be getting dressed, what must you be?
Clothed.
No, in order to be getting dressed, in the process of getting dressed.
Getting dressed? Oh, yeah. You have to be naked or half.
Various stage of no clothes on.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I'm like, why haven't there's never been once that they've thought about this? Or is it just that women think differently?
It's probably that. It's probably that women's minds think differently. We're like, okay, let's find a new way to explain it because we have to speak to men all the time. So we have to find new ways to explain things because they don't listen. It's probably that.
I guess that could be it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when they say that, they're just like, oh yeah, it's like, I think I had one person, they're like, yeah, I've talked to Dean on this one because I made those MP3 files for my Discord so I can just easily play them. And they're like, yeah, I've talked to Dean before, and she doesn't actually say it. I'm like, okay, so what must it mean if someone is if there are various stages of undress, they're getting dressed, what must you be in order to be getting dressed?
Right.
You must be missing garments.
You're missing clothing.
Something is missing on your body. Yeah, it's. Anyways, also Jubilee. Why was it a man?
I don't like Jubilee. I've never been a fan of Jubilee. I'll get clips sometimes when I think that they're relevant to the entire broad conversation of MAGA, but I don't like Jubilee.
It's okay. Just remember that the CIA, which was created in 1947, engineered. Okay, guys, just remember this: the CIA. I believe it was 1947. It might have been 1943. I might be off on my ears, so don't be mean at me at this one. Either way, it was after 1920. The CIA is responsible for the women's suffrage movement getting to where it did and getting us the 20th Amendment. Okay. Thank you so much, Savannah, for that insight.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Who's the CIA? The CIA did it. Thank you so much. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted, but thank you, Kilo. We do. Like, thank you, Super Magnum, for the $5 super chat. He said, MAGA women think differently. Yeah. We don't encounter a lot of MAGA women, but they do, they exist, and it's wild. So here we go. I don't agree with that, but let's go back a little bit.
You're like a
I
doctor.
definitely don't
Why
agree
did
with
Howard
that.
Stern
Okay,
say you're
first
like a
off,
doctor?
I
Because
don't-
doctors get to see
I don't.
people naked.
Okay, I don't agree with that. But men are men, and men have testosterone, and men love beautiful women. And trust me, I would.
Look, I know he does this, and it's a little bit fucking gimmicky for the cameras. I know that. I know. But that's such a non-serious answer. You kind of have to do the opposite thing. You kind of have to do the... Like, you have to. Really, bitch? The boys will be boys argument? And yes, I can say bitch towards a woman, whether it's internalized misogyny or not, because I say it to men. So, yeah, no, I know you do. I really only have to look at the camera when I'm telling Eli to not do things. That's really the only time that I have to look at the camera. But, like, it's fucking accurate. Really? The boys will be boys argument. That's what we're doing. Okay. I don't agree with it, but men do men stuff being in dressing rooms with underage girls. Just men.
would prefer a man that actually looks at women and is sexually attracted to women than someone.
I'm sure she would, because she has seen herself. Nope, never mind. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to do it. I'm deconstructing actively in this conversation. Actively deconstructing in this conversation. You would rather have a man who finds women attractive. Sure. Okay. But maybe consensually would be nice. Not just because he thinks he can.
That is not. And I actually like looking at women too, and I'm not even a lesbian, but I think women's bodies are beautiful.
Oh, sweetie. Oh, honey. Anytime you want to. Anytime you want to, you can come over here. I'm not attracted to you personally. You're not my type. But we really do have fun on this side.
It's like,
oh, what's up with the girl in the red shirt? Chris, just wait.
I'm sorry. No.
It's art
I'm
to
sorry.
me.
This is
Now,
disgusting.
no, and
you just told me that you would prefer a man who, quote unquote, likes the female body and is willing to barge into the private women's only dressing rooms to look at them while they have no clothes on.
I said
compared
before
to
that
you're saying
I said before that I didn't agree with it. So all this pretzeling that I'm doing now doesn't matter. Like, you say but, though. I don't agree with that, but. Everything that my mama taught me is that anything you say after but, you don't care about the first part that you said.
And I think that real men with testosterone are sexual predators.
So you just lied about me right now because I said I don't believe what he did was right.
But
by
it was
going
the
in there.
but I would prefer a man who likes to look at the naked bodies of women that got it.
Then over someone that is attracted to other men. Yes.
Why?
Absolutely. Because it's not natural.
It's not natural to begin.
Oh, okay. It's just homophobia. She says she appreciates the body of a beautiful woman. Baby. The homophobia is calling from inside of the house. But I would actually prefer in a dressing room full of women for a man who's attracted to men, because then at least I know he's not going to sexually objectify me. Also, yes, Kayla, we're talking about children.
Natural to be attracted to the opposite
Define
sex.
natural.
Natural is what God made, Adam and Eve.
So God didn't make gay people?
Well, actually,
I thought that God was the creator of all.
No, that's sin, and sin came from.
I don't remember that. Sin. That part. God created sin. If God created everything, God also created sin. It's just like...
From the devil.
No, sin is a conscious decision. Being gay is not a conscious decision.
Well, actually, being gay is a conscious decision.
Okay, could you choose to be gay?
It's an action.
It sounds like she could choose to be gay, Dean. I'm just going to put that out there for you. I think she could choose it.
Choose to be gay?
Yes, absolutely.
Could you choose to be
actually could have chose to be gay when I was younger.
Could you choose to be attracted to your mom?
A lot of women actually
Could you choose?
No, I agree, Blue. It's absolutely a pivot. It is a pivot, but it's also like their buzzwords, like isms that they constantly have in the background, right? Like it's. I don't want to talk about the fact that, yeah, that's bad. You proved to me, because now she's not fighting that anymore, that he didn't say it, right? She's not fighting anymore that Donald Trump said that about going into a dressing room. She has conceded that point. Done. Where I would like Dean to have held her to that. He followed her down the rabbit hole, unfortunately. But here we are. It's still funny. Is then her phobia's kicked in on top of that. I'd rather have a man attracted to women. And he's like, so that they barge in the... No, but it's better than the gays. Like, that's what happened here.
To be attracted to your mom. If attractions are a choice, could you choose to be attracted to your mom?
Can you choose to be a pedophile?
No, I couldn't choose to be a pedophile.
No!
Could you choose to be attracted to your mom?
Weirdo.
So there you go. He thinks, no, it's an action, honey. And you can choose to sin or you can choose not to sin. I try to keep the devil away from me.
Can I just get a clear answer to the question?
And no, this is a clear answer.
Sweetie, you said you find women's bodies beautiful and you're not even a lesbian. And you're wearing a fanny pack. I have news for you. As a gay, I have news for you. The closet is glass.
Answer, but see, you don't come from a biblical standpoint.
What are
you
the first
come
4
from
books
a
in the
worldly
New Testament?
standpoint. I come from a biblical standpoint.
Because I wear a cross. Can't you see? I am biblical cross. The Home Depot is calling. The Home Depot is absolutely calling. I love fanny packs too, but I'm a gay. I'm just kidding. You can love fanny packs and not be gay. I'm just saying. If she can choose, every day she wakes up, she's trying her damnedest not to.
That there's 2 sexes, there's no 50 different genders. That came from a pedophile named John Money.
No, it didn't. I hate going down the rabbit hole, but no, it didn't. Actually, John Money proves our point, which is that you cannot force a gender onto somebody that is not what they actually are. That's all that John Money proved in the most disgusting way fucking possible. Fuck John Money. He is not allowed in any kind of community in way of being conversated about. But all John Money proved is our point. You cannot force a gender onto someone that they are not. You guys want to do that. You want to do what John Money did. You can't.
Who lied about a study to push reassignment surgery on thousands of people through his lie that butchered this poor boy and put him through hell.
Correct.
Reimer twins. Go look it up on Oprah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go look it up on Oprah. It's crazy. You could just read about it online. Not Oprah. Oprah? Sure.
So
I'm going to ask the question again.
You don't live in
I'm going to ask
reality.
the question again.
I live in reality where I know
Jesus.
that a tree's a tree, a woman is a woman, a man's a man, and if you are
And a
choosing...
moron.
And a moron's a moron. I get that. What? Yeah, also they don't like Oprah. You don't even like Oprah. What are we doing here? All right. Let's go to the woman in the red that you were... I think that's the one you were talking about, where you were like, what's up with her? Let's get into what's up with her. They have a discussion, her and Dean, about who makes better leaders, men or women. As we've seen in the studies, actually, women do. But let's listen to their discussion as we're sitting here.
We need strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk.
I forgot how much I hated it. I already forgot how much I hate her voice. Oh, no, I remember, Audrey. I knew that the voice existed. I forgot how much I absolutely hate it. I apologize in advance. She trained it to be her real voice. Why? Probably to come off better for men.
We need strong alpha males like Donald J. Trump, Spencer Pratt, and our loved Charlie Kirk, who will have secure borders, who will not let criminals
Did you
on the
just
street.
unironically say strong alpha males? Get a grip. Stand up.
You
Listen.
girl, get a grip. You're a man. You want to mansplain to me?
Well, I mean, actually, you just said that men are better at leading than women,
I
so you
do.
should listen to every word that
I
comes out
am
of my mouth
listening.
per your perspective, right?
It's one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things. If you're going to sit here, and especially as a woman or anybody who speaks out against certain communities, or you are into white supremacist ideology as a marginalized community, shut the fuck up then. Shut the fuck up then, right? If you're a woman who believes that men need to lead and you need to listen to men, why are you arguing with a man right now? Shouldn't you be shutting the fuck up and going back to the kitchen? You should be going back to the kitchen. Now, I don't agree with anything about that at all, do I? No, of course not. I'm just saying, if you're going to believe the ideology, hold it. Hold on to it. Erica Kirk should not be in charge of that company. Hello?
Did you just unironically say strong alpha males? Get a grip. Stand up.
You
Listen.
girl, get a grip. You're a man. Do you want to mansplain to me?
Well, I mean, actually, you just said that men are better at leading than women, so you should listen to every word that comes out of my mouth per your perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you think that men are the strong alpha males and women are the emotional followers, why won't you follow my lead and listen to what I have to say?
First off,
because
sir,
you don't believe what you
that is
say.
a straw man. I believe that male and female are created equal in the image of God. We each have the same dignity and the same value.
Imagine cheering for God. Woo, God! Oh. Real quick, as we continue on with this. Huge W's to Omi Omai for the 30, finishing out the goal. You said so. She said, "Ice for the win." Ooh woo. Ooh woo. Ooh woo. She unironically has let me believe the things that I say. Voice, absolutely. Yeah, the single clap. God. Love that. Love God. Oh God. No, I didn't realize. W's to Luca. I can send that back if you want. So let me know. But W's to Luca for the 30. Another one in the books. If you want that sent back to you, I could absolutely send that back. Since I just read where we got it cleared out. But W's to you. Or I can put it towards tomorrow. Whatever you would like me to do. I'm assuming Sandwich is still in mute jail. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Did he come in here? It's cool. Okay, Luca, thank you. I have to hear that clap again.
Now are created equal in the image of God. We each have the same dignity and the same value. We have the same brain, the same rationality, but we have different and distinct roles.
Okay.
Why is it that women can get pregnant? Only females can get pregnant.
Okay.
Why can't men get pregnant?
Well, of course, that would boil down to the physical biology.
Physical biology.
Because
isn't that innate that women are more geared towards child rearing and child raising than men are?
So once again, the way that we started this.
No! My ability to birth a child does not mean that I am good at raising children. As many YouTube men tell me every single day. For my non-existent children. That you guys tell me that I can't raise them well. So no, there's nothing within our biology that shows that we are better at raising children just simply because we have them. That's not a thing that happens. So, thank you so much for the jewels. Has she met Casey Anthony? Has she met, like, who? What's the other one? What was the one who, it's very sad. It's not funny. It's not funny at all, and I'm not laughing. The woman who put her children into a van and backed it into the lake and drowned them so that she could be with the man who didn't want. Susan Smith. There it is, Chris. Susan Smith. You're telling me she was more geared towards child rearing? I think there's a woman in court right now. Isn't there a woman in court right now with her postpartum? Yeah, and then they blamed a black man. You're right, Lenati. She said she got carjacked by a black man when she drowned her kids. Yeah, I keep hearing about this. I just don't know the case quite yet, Raina, but so what are we talking about?
Conversation was by me agreeing that there are going to be differences between men and women.
Exactly.
You just simply
men
Could
are
I
better
finish?
leaders.
I would love if I could finish. You can't say because there's differences between two things that thereby innately one of the two things is going to be better at leading than the other. Like, I think that's ridiculous. Listen, once again, my claim is that the differences that do exist between men and women ultimately don't amount to justifying the claim that men are better at leading than women. And let me respond because you made a lot of claims.
On and on.
I think it's...
You haven't stopped talking, Minnie Mouse! I know, because I keep hearing your voice in my head. So let him respond, Minnie Mouse.
Been the opposite.
Okay.
To respond to your claims,
Thank
you
you,
said
sir.
that there's a difference in the hormonal balances of men and women that make women more emotional. Well, I mean, I already went over this with
You said you wonder if they'll pick her. Eli, they will pick her. They will marry her. They will have children with her, and they will sleep with men or other femme presenting on the weekend. Is what's going to happen.
Not even just more emotional. It's that our bodies are not equipped to handle the same levels of cortisol as men. We
They're
need
actually
more
more
care.
equipped.
Look at Donald Trump. The
They're
man
more
literally
equipped.
lives off of...
Women are not able to process the same cortisol levels as men. We're more equipped because of that thing you were just praising, childbirth. She's praising childbirth as a way to say that women are biologically engineered at being better to raise children. I know, I saw where I paused her. It's fantastic. I didn't even mean to do that. I'm just that good. But you were praising childbirth as a way to say that biologically women and females are engineered to raise children better than men. And yet you are now saying that we cannot endure the same tolerance of cortisol as men, which is untrue. We have a higher tolerance, a higher processing of cortisol because of childbirth.
Of Diet Coke and McDonald's.
Okay.
We could not do that.
Okay, listen. Actually, women are more equipped than men to deal with stress. It is proven by the science.
That's actually not true.
No, I'll tell you. You could look this up. Anybody at home could look this up. Women have thicker dendrites in their brain. And study after study after study has concluded time and time and time again that this gives women the ability to better manage their stress than men. And you actually brought this up. You brought up childbirth. The reason why women have thicker dendrites in their brain, giving them a greater navigation ability, giving them a greater...
It's not just physical pain. Childbirth, I don't know who taught her this, and they need to be taken out back and shot. Childbirth is not just physical pain. It is also mental stress, which is what we are talking about in way of cortisol levels. You are not going to sit here and say that men have a higher tolerance for cortisol than women do when it's not true, because women go through, in Minecraft, childbirth, which is not only a physical stressor, but it is a mental stressor as well. I don't know who teaches these women.
Them a greater ability to deal with their pain and stress is because of childbirth, okay?
Yes, because
and that's exactly why women can deal with their stress better than men. So your claim that the opposite is true is wrong. And plus, once again, when we look in society, how...
Has she had children? I know we don't do anecdotals, but I really doubt it. I just really doubt it.
Men deal with stress compared to how women deal with stress. Well, when a man gets mad, he commits a violent crime, he kills his wife, he kidnaps his children, he sets his house ablaze. And this is why men are significantly more likely to commit every single crime on the books, including crimes that do not...
We need violent men? Because he's talking to you about the violent crime that men commit because of their inability to handle their emotions. Men do not have emotional regulation. Men do not have emotional intelligence to the rate with which women do. And so they commit these fucking crimes, these violent crimes at a higher rate, gendered violence at a higher rate. And your response to that is, we need strong men. I know, really, Lenati, it is. It's fucking sad that these women exist in this way. That they don't see how much stronger they could be. That you could still have the life that you want. I am married. I am coming up on 16 years with my husband. We've been together for 16 years. We have two beautifully smart, caring, kind, compassionate, brilliant children that you can probably hear in the background because they're playing. It's still summer. And yet I am still able to speak my mind about men. He's not offended by that. We're still able to live the life that everybody dreams of without making myself small. It's sad that somebody has taught them that they have to be under the thumb of men to be worth anything.
Have a necessity for any use of physical strength, such as arson, cyberbullying,
If you think
or
women are such good leaders,
terroristic
why
threats.
won't you let me speak?
Well, I'll happily let you speak in response to the things that I've said, as long as you're able to stay on topic and respond to the meat on the bone.
Why are you cheering her, saying, when are you going to let me speak? She's a woman. She's not supposed to speak, I thought.
Because I'm a woman and I have a brain, thank you very much.
Okay, well, I guess women are better at leading than men.
He needs...
I'm a woman and I have a brain. Then use it. Then use it. Yeah, you are. You are a woman with a brain. Then use it. He keeps breaking the fourth wall. He does it the entire time. All right. Couple more videos on this. Oh no, was that the same one? No, this is the different one. Jesus Christ, we do it again. Is Trump a sexual predator? We're back to it. Back to it.
They had to...
By the way, real quick before I play this, thank you guys so much for hitting almost 250,000 likes, and it's only 11:12 Mountain Time. I have about 45 minutes left in my show, and you guys are well on your way to that 300,000 mark. I am so fucking proud of you. Thank you guys so very much for that. I appreciate it. The support is amazing. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you're new here, or you're watching and you have not hit that thumbs up button today, I'd appreciate it if you do so. And hello to those on Twitchy who are watching. I wish you guys had something that you could do besides, I guess you could put emotes in if you're subscribed, or you can just chat it up in there. That does help move the needle over there on Twitch. So, the pick is a clue. It won't go well for her. Mar-a-Lago. We are into the Mar-a-Lago makeover section of the show.
They had to make things up to get Trump. Trump doesn't have to be a sexual predator. Any woman would love to be with Trump.
All right, listen, put your hand up if you would have sex with Donald Trump.
I'm sorry, excuse me. What's the name of that girl who follows him? Or that woman, excuse me, I apologize. She's young, but she is a woman. So I will not say girl. See? Deconstructing in real time. The woman who follows him around, is it Natalie Harp? Is that her name?
Be a sexual predator. Any woman would love to be with Trump.
All right, listen, put your hand up if you would have sex with Donald Trump. That's crazy.
Do you prefer Clinton? Why don't we talk about sexual predators as far as Bill Clinton?
Why?
No, because he's a sexual predator too. That's gross. No, why? Why do you need to pivot? Why? Why do you need to pivot? Can we talk about Trump?
It's not
Okay,
about the
because he's a predator.
Yeah,
Okay, and if he
Trump
is,
doesn't
burn him,
have
throw him
to
under the
be a
jail. I don't
sexual
care.
predator. Trump did report him to the feds.
I thought I clarified
when-
that's not what
well,
happened.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Show me that. Give me
Virginia,
evidence.
first of all, Virginia Guthrie worked at Mar-a-Lago.
That's not her name. I'm really tired of everybody saying her name wrong. It makes me think that you guys don't watch the documentaries that she was a part of, where she spoke, the news conferences that she spoke before she took her life tragically last year. Her name is not Virginia Guthrie. It's not Virginia Giuffre. It's Giuffre. Virginia Giuffre. That's how you say her name. So I love that she's going to reference somebody whose name she can't even get right. Let's do that.
He's a predator.
Okay, and if
Trump
he is,
doesn't
burn him,
have
throw him
to
under the
be a
jail. I don't
sexual
care.
predator. Trump did report him to the feds.
I thought I clarified
When-
that's not what
well,
happened.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Show me that. Give me
Virginia,
evidence.
first of all, Virginia Guthrie worked at Mar-a-Lago in the early 2000s.
Correct.
And he prompted her to come and work for him as a massage therapist. Trump was
Correct. Ghislaine Maxwell and him, yep.
pissed, and he reported Epstein.
Okay,
No.
well, I would recommend looking at the fact check that will likely be
Yeah.
on the video screen that says, actually, he placed this phone call after Epstein was arrested to thank the cop and to tip them off about Ghislaine Maxwell. Because
Correct.
that's what the fact check is going to say.
Mhm. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is in what.
Bitch, I hate these people. He turned him in to the feds. He turned him in. Actually, what happened was that in an FBI interview in 2019, the one of the Florida sheriffs said that in 2006, after they released information that there was an ongoing investigation, they publicly released information that there was an ongoing investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Publicly. Trump called and said, hey, so proud of you guys. You're doing a great job. We all knew what he was doing. The difference is that you're saying you knew what he was doing and you didn't turn him in before it came out publicly. That's the fucking difference. Like, what is wrong with them?
Them off about Ghislaine Maxwell, because that's what the fact check is going to say.
Mhm. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is in one scenario, he's reporting the crime to the cop to then get Epstein arrested. In the secondary scenario, he's thanking the cop after Epstein's
And
arrest
he
and indicating
added
that he knew about what
to
he was
the
doing.
indictments.
Well, I mean, I
What's
think
wrong
that,
with that?
I think that in many scenarios, what we'll see
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
from quote unquote co-conspirators
Uh-huh.
of criminals is, well, once their friend gets arrested for the same crime that they committed, we'll turn around and be all lovey-dovey to the police to try to indicate and promote the idea
that's
that
subjective.
they were involved. And the only reason why I bring this up isn't to say I know with certainty that this is exactly what Trump did, but is rather to give plausible doubt to your argument that because he did this, we know he's not a sexual predator, even though he admitted to it on Howard Stern's radio show and even though a court found him guilty of rape.
A court never found him guilty of. First of all, if he was guilty of rape,
Now, to be fair, Dean is wrong in the words that he uses. Dean is wrong. He was not found guilty of rape. He was found civilly liable for the sexual abuse and defamation of E. Jean Carroll. It was not civilly found liable of rape either. because of the law in New York at the time that rape was defined as penile penetration of the vagina, meaning men, even at the time, could never have been raped. It would have been sexual abuse or sexual assault. So Dean is wrong. He's wrong. Trump was not found guilty of rape. He was found civilly liable for sexual abuse and defamation, which, by the way, finally paid. All of his appeals are done. He has paid E. Jean Carroll, but his lawyers have now filed a motion, a filing to claw that money back. They're saying that they should return that money that he paid. So he's still fighting this bullshit, even though his appeals are done. It's done.
He'd be in chains right now.
That's not how civil courts
They
work.
had to make, yeah, it is.
Civil courts don't send people to jail. They hold people financially liable. That's the nature of
So then maybe you shouldn't have used the word guilty to confuse people that are already very, very, very confused.
our criminal justice
But he
system.
would have been in jail.
You're not familiar with statute of limitations then?
I'm familiar with
What's
that.
the statute of limitations?
You can only accuse somebody within a matter of time, but right,
Right,
now
so
it's
if
30
E.
years.
So if E. Jean Carroll, okay,
Right now
came
it's
out
30
after
years.
the statute of
She's
limitations had
out of
passed
her mind,
for
she's
sexual abuse
insane.
in the state.
Oh, we love that. We love when women call other women insane, says the woman who wants to sleep with Donald Trump.
Of New York
They
against
threw her
Donald
case
Trump.
out.
Do you agree that even if she had a video of it happening to her, he wouldn't be in jail because of the statute of limitations? had
That's not
passed?
true. There is no statute of limitations when it comes to.
So by the law, okay, the crime that Donald Trump committed per the New York State legal definition of and of sexual abuse in 2019 through
He never
2022
committed that crime.
was specifically sexual abuse, okay? Because legally speaking, in New York, they only defined rape as penile penetration of the vagina, and she testified that he raped her with his fingers instead of his penis. So
No,
because of
that's
that,
a lie.
it would
There's
be
no
legally
proof of that.
categorized
Apparently there was, because 9 jurors found him civilly liable of it. So apparently there was.
as sexual abuse, and that's the crime that had a
She's
statute
out
of
of her
limitations
mind.
on
She's
it.
insane, and they threw the case out just recently.
That was the best part. That was the best part of the whole thing. Actually, where is it? As I have it. Here it is. I have it right here. It's fine. For the foregoing reasons, the court should grant President Trump's motion and enter an injunction pending. The court should. This is a filing, okay? Abuse litigant Donald Trump has been asking the Second Circuit to order clawback of the $5.62 million dispersed to E. Jean Carroll on July 14th after SCOTUS denied cert with no dissents on June 29th. On Monday, he filed this. The court should grant President Trump's motion and enter an injunction pending appeal requiring plaintiff to return the CRIS with all funds dispersed to her from the custody of the district court. Thank you. It is also 14 pages. It wasn't thrown out. He paid. The newest filing is him trying to claw that money back because he's a greedy little shit. The case wasn't thrown out anywhere. Actually, let me keep that up so that I have it in the outline since I showed it. Okay. Last one of Dean, I think. Is this again? Did we do it again? Yes, we did it again. Discussing E. Jean Carroll again, because they can't fucking help themselves. Last one. Guys, you were doing wonderful with the taps. Thank you so much.
And no offense, I don't trust a woman that named her cat Vagina. You know, you may not imagine this, but when I was your age, I was a model. And I can tell you for a fact, every fashion show, every modeling call, there are men in the dressing room. There are makeup artists, there are designers. It's not uncommon. And you're
She did. She named her she named her cat Vagina T Fireball. I don't know what that has to do with rape, but yeah.
And no offense, I don't trust a woman that named her cat Vagina. You know, you may not imagine this, but
Why don't you trust her? I don't understand why you don't trust her. You don't trust her because she named her cat Vagina? What? What? Men name their penises. I don't know what we're talking about here.
when I was your age, I was a model. And I can tell you for a fact, every fashion show, every modeling call, there are men in the dressing room. There are makeup artists, there are designers.
They're meant to
It's
be there.
not uncommon.
Yeah. Makeup artists and designers are supposed to be in the dressing rooms because they work there. Donald Trump owned it. Shouldn't have been in there. the amount of delusion and pretzeling to glaze for this man is insane. You are throwing women under the bus. You are setting women and our rights back by decades by doing this. You are just furthering what men's oppression of women, men's ability to rape apologize towards women, and the harm that they cause us. You are just furthering that point. Because now men can say, well, I watched an entire episode where women were supporting Donald Trump. You're setting us back by decades. My cats are Duke and Duchess, but there's no royalty. I was going to say loyalty, which is also probably true because they're cats. There's no royalty in this house. There's probably also no loyalty because they are cats. So.
And you're making it as if it's this big, huge deal. Donald Trump out.
I've seen people name their cats Chairman Meow. Like, what? Like, I don't know what we're doing here.
At the time was the head of the Miss Universe and Miss USA pageant. It wouldn't be surprising if I was in there changing for him to walk in. And you guys, because let's look at the camera. He's got a face for.
Yes, let's look at the camera because of the things that you say.
A pageant. It wouldn't be surprising if I was in there changing for him to walk in. And you guys, because let's look at the camera. He's got a face for that one too. Let's go to E. Jean Carroll since she already went over this for 20 minutes.
Can I respond to that?
Sure, but we're down to 1 minute. You've already talked about this.
Raina, my cat's nickname was Little Shit, but I still love him. Yeah, so I have two cats. I have Stella and I have Jasper. Stella is my female cat, and she acts like every fucking calico you've ever met. She's bitchy as fuck. So you want to know what her nickname is when I see her? That's Bitch Kitty. That's her name. When I see her, I'll be like, oh, Stella Mamas. It's like, you little bitch kitty. Like, that's Bitch Kitty. Like, do you not trust me now because I call her Bitch Kitty? Jasper is little shit. Like, he's also little shit. I call him shitbag, like, all day because he tries to get into the pantry to get to the bread. Like, what? Don't trust me. Oh, no.
Trump said that there were no men anywhere.
Well, I don't care what he said. I'm saying as a woman that's been backstage at many fashion shows.
He was the owner. He was the one backstage.
Everywhere.
He said that he was the only man back there.
Well, and I'm sure that there were other men. Forever or just that instance. I'm not buying it. Okay, we got 50 seconds. I'm going E. Jean Carroll.
Fuck.
E. Jean Carroll, number one, the statute of limitations had run out. Number two, for a very long time, she never reported it to anyone until Reid Hoffman.
Wrong. Not true. False. She did not report it to law enforcement, but at the time when it happened, she told her friends and she told her therapist. Not true. She did report it to her therapist and to her friends at the time it happened. So now we're going to go off of some Reid Hoffman conspiracy theory that's not true.
To anyone until Reid Hoffman paid her to freaking go after this lawsuit. Why she is now being charged with perjury. Not only that, as a celebrity walking into Bergdorf Goodman's, you don't think
Bergdorf Goodman's
that anybody would have a picture of him? And no offense.
No. Because it was during a time where people didn't have fucking cell phones. He didn't have paparazzi following him around like that. Unless he was at a party. This is silly. This is silly. This is silly. This is silly. Also, she was independently wealthy. Our sheep is named Ba Sing Se. There's no war in Ba Sing Se.
I don't trust a woman that named her cat Vagina and freaking said was sexy. And
not what she said. That is not what she said. She said people find rape sexy. As we can see in our society and way of our media, that's true. You can see it, how it's geared towards the male gaze in regards to television shows, specifically police shows. Even as much as I like the show, you can talk about one of the most popular iterations of Law & Order, which is Special Victims Unit. Special Victims Unit goes over rape specifically. And that is one of their most popular shows, and it is geared towards men. I wonder why it's popular. Could it be that in society, because it is so taboo, consensual non-consent being a fantasy, rape being fantasies, exists? She did not say she finds it sexy. She says people find it sexy. As we see in our society, that seems to be true.
Charged 21 other men with that crime.
Not true. where she charged 21 other men with that crime. Wrong.
Lori, you're
On
going to get
Larry
another
King.
fact check.
Well, you go ahead and fact check. Well, I think it's disgusting.
She also sounds like she's been drinking, so I don't know.
Because I was a victim.
Link in Monty's bio so we can buy a sheep. Now she's going to tell her story. There's nothing funny about a woman's story. I want to make that clear. We've been laughing because we have to, or we'll cry, or we'll rage out, or we'll scream. Nothing funny about a woman's story.
Because I was a victim of actual and abuse. And if you want to compare what happened in the Epstein files, let me just tell you, I was one of those little girls. Okay?
I'm sorry to hear that, Lori.
I was one of those little girls, but the guy was shooting her. So for you to sit there and say it's disgusting, I'm sorry, I don't agree with the woman as a woman who was abused.
That's where we have a problem. You have a story of your own that a lot of women have. It's disgusting. It shouldn't be happening. And now you are degrading another woman's story. And again, furthering the narrative among society and men to degrade your story. All the ammunition that you are giving against E. Jean Carroll will get used against you. That's all you're doing, is promoting the harm and oppression of women and not believing women.
I don't agree with the attacks falsely on Donald Trump because of the crap that your side always has to push because you got such bad TDS, it's insane. That woman is a nut job. I knew somebody that worked with her at Simon Schuster, said that she was so inappropriate. She also accused 21 other men of the same freaking crime.
Name 5 of them.
I don't know their names.
Because they don't exist.
Because she didn't. You can't name 5 of the 21 that she alleged? Okay, cool. Just remember, I was gonna say, if you want to say you have a story, you can put a hand emoji in the chat, but I don't want to do that to people because you don't have to. We know. We know that it's about 1 in 3. And it's probably lower than that because that's just of the women who report. And we know that a majority of women don't report. So of the women that report, it's about 1 in 3 that have some sort of story about sexual abuse or rape or harm. And it's probably 1 in 2, if not less than that, because a majority of women don't report. Yeah. Well, and Vince, you said I've got a couple even as a man. Yeah. Because the problem in society is how we allow men to harm humans. There's definitely a gendered aspect in way of disproportionately, but it seems to be an issue in our society with how we raise men, how we allow men to feel entitled. Remember that sexual abuse and rape is not it's not a crime about attractiveness, it's about power. It is about asserting power over people, about power over women. Stop furthering the narrative. It's wild. Okay. I'm going to go through, I told you I had a hodgepodge of stuff. I have this, I call it the Republican mixed messaging. And I have a couple things in here. I have a few clips from a Representative McCormick that I thought were interesting. And then, then I'm not going to play that one because the housing bill went through, so I don't have to play that one now. But Representative McCormick says some weird shit at this fucking town hall, this conservative town hall that he held. When was this? In June.
It is. Walking across the street now has become a perilous thing. I'm more paranoid now in Washington, D.C., and even in my own district than I was when I was in Afghanistan.
I'm more paranoid in Washington, D.C. than I was in Afghanistan, which is interesting because this was in June of this year. I thought Donald Trump cleaned up D.C., and I thought he lowered all the crime rates and that D.C. was a safe place to be again. That's why I put it in Republican mixed messaging. How are you going to fearmonger to try to continue to have your seat in an election on a talking point that Donald Trump said is not a talking point anymore? You cannot continue to say, there's crime in D.C. and I'm safer in Afghanistan, while also being like, well, yeah, no, Trump lowered the crime rate in D.C. Which one is it?
Walking across the street now has become a perilous thing. I'm more paranoid now in Washington, D.C., and even in my own district than I was when I was in Afghanistan. That's what's at stake right now. You could be murdered right here in D.C. A couple people just this year have been murdered for just being Jewish and being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Talk
I don't know about the truth behind that statement.
about the anti-Semitism. Talk about the fight over life it is. Walking across.
But I thought Donald Trump made DC safe again. Finna, yes, I do read the chat. Hello. Oh man.
If there was no crime in DC, he wouldn't have had to station those soldiers to make sure people don't chip the gold off of his statues that he plated.
I hate it here.
Did you see the video of the finished? I sent it to you.
I saw pictures of the finished.
Yeah,
Do we
money
wanna
can't
see
buy
it?
class.
Money can't buy. Do you know that song? There's a song.
No, what song?
What is her name? Oh God, what's her name? She's from Housewives. She got arrested for like DUI all the time and shit. DeLesseps, and she made a song of "Money Can't Buy You Class," but she can't sing, so it's like so terrible. It's absolutely awful.
No, fortunately, I've never heard that.
Oh well, maybe I'll play it for you. Where are you in my messages? Here, there you are. I find it. I found it. How is it so loud?
Why is it so ugly? Yeah, $6 million in gold. Now they have to have 2 National Guard members at each statue to prevent people from chipping off the gold.
But people are... Kim, people are dying.
Yeah, people already steal bronze statues to melt them down for the copper. And in this economy, you're going to coat statues in gold?
Money can't buy your class.
Oh,
Money can't buy your class. Elegance is learned.
Oh, that's
She
beautiful.
got it that time. That's what I'm talking about.
Sorry. I had to.
All right, goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm surprised they didn't drop you yet. Sorry, we are off the rails. We are off the rails, guys. There were no rails. I told you I was in a mood today. I'm glad that I'm laughing. I started out the day pretty down, I'm not gonna lie. So thank you guys. I appreciate it for the laughs and the giggles. Back to Representative Rich McCormick. Here he is talking about Medicaid. My life was okay having never heard that. I'm sorry.
It's not about how good you are. It's about everybody else and you're trying to get to some place. And until we get people focused outward, and here's to the point of Medicaid, the worst thing I can possibly do is give you free money to stay at home and do.
I think they were already existing, Sherry. He just covered them in gold.
And until we get people focused outward, and here's to the point of Medicaid, the worst thing I can possibly do is give you free money to stay at home and do nothing. That's not happiness.
That's not what Medicaid is. That's not what Medicaid is at all. You're not getting free money. When I go in, specifically, so my daughter has Medicaid. She's going to be getting braces. It took time to find out if those were going to be approved by Medicaid insurance. You want to know why? When the orthodontist put in the order, they said, we will call you on scheduling delivery of device once Medicaid approves it, because they don't send me anything. They don't send me shit except for the letter that said she was approved. They don't send me money to sit at home. They don't send me money for her Medicaid. The doctor's office contacts Medicaid, says, hey, do you approve of this? Medicaid, the federal government, says, yes, we do, and it gives them the money for the payment. Like, they send the bill. I'm not involved at all. What are we talking about?
But if I can provide an environment where everybody's...
What was that? What?
But if I can provide an environment where everybody's producing jobs and you can actually have value in doing something, you're earning something, I'm not going to allow.
There is federal Medicaid. There is. Ours is state, but they get federal funding. So, like, I think Colorado is like a 50-50 state. So there's like a 50% of the Medicaid money comes from Colorado taxes and 50% of it comes from federal.
Allow you to sit at home and get something for nothing because.
Oh, is that why he was doing it super Magnum? Because nobody was clapping. So he was like, clap for me. And they were like, okay.
We even require you to do something to get the money back you put into unemployment. How crazy is it the liberals have convinced you that getting something for free makes you happy? It's never going to work, and we got to proselytize that because nothing worthwhile comes easy.
It doesn't. You have to do the work for the Medicaid.
Usually, can you play that clap again? Usually applause is just like clapping. Why was it like...
Let me see.
You're earning something.
Oh, no, it's before that.
It was like a bunch of people clapping in
Yeah, he
unison.
does that weird hand gesture. Hold on.
But if I can provide an environment where everybody...
They clapped. You can tell they're in a... It probably just sounds louder because of the acoustics in the building.
All right. It wasn't as weird as it was the first time I heard it.
Geez, W's to Scuba Steve for the dollar train. Choo-choo. Shitbag, bitch kitty. Yeah, those are my cats. Those are my cats. And thank you, Trademark, for the 10. Just need to get my Antifa dues in for the monthly bake sale. Don't want Soros breathing down your neck. Appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Trademark. Thank you for getting your Antifa dues in. I appreciate that so very much. Yeah, we all know George Soros breathes down my neck to have conversations about Luann de Lesseps and her horrible singing. That's definitely something George Soros is propagandizing me to do. Or it's a decision all on my own. So then, last one with Representative McCormick. He talks about the Democrat trick in regards to abortion, which I thought was an interesting way to frame this.
Next step is, once again, what is going to terminate something if it's not violent or poisonous to the human body? I only know, and this is the trick that the Democrats always like to lay out.
Yeah, Eli, you're right. The guidelines is state by state. You're absolutely correct.
And this is it's so clever. Oh, what about the life of the mother? Whenever I ask a reporter, because they throw this at me all the time, I'm a doctor, so be careful what you ask me. Name me a time where you're going to save the mother's life. And by the way, when you have an ectopic pregnancy like Kat Kamikad, that's not an abortion. The baby's going to die and the mother's going to die. That's not having a baby.
That is an abortion. It's classified as an abortion when you have to do a D&C. Is he a doctor? That's what I went to look up. Let's look this up. What kind of doctor are you if you're a doctor? Richard Dean McCormick, an American physician. Let's look at your Bachelor of Science, Master of Business, Doctor of Medicine at Morehouse. What is your doctorate in? That's politics. Did you even practice? Because, you know, like Ken Jeong is a doctor, too. In 2010, he earned his doctorate, and then he went and served in the Marine Corps. McCormick was cast at Marine Corps Recruiting Corps. He emergency physician and works at Gwinnett Medical Center. He's an ER doctor. Okay. So not obstetrics and gynecology. Okay. But apparently it is a trick. It's a trick when people bring up life of the mother.
All agree on that. That's a medical procedure. But name me a time when you're going to have an abortion that is going to save the mother's life. Now I can
a D&C. A D&C. Uh-huh.
Tell you when you come in a trauma situation and I have to deliver a baby in order to save the mother's life when she's bleeding out in a car crash, that's not the same thing. That's not an abortion.
Duh. When you bring a woman in from a car crash who's having a baby and bleeding out and I have to save her life, that's not an abortion. Duh. What? Yeah, he's a physician. He's an ER doctor.
That's delivery. And the baby's not gonna be viable anyway, so let's not confound that. I did find one atypical case, where a woman came
He means atypical. He still doesn't say it quite right, so I just want to say atypical. No, he's saying atypical.
in with,
Abnormal.
she was diagnosed with metastatic cancer. Multiple tumors all over, metastatic to her brain, her liver, her lungs, poorly differentiated. In other words, very hard to treat. She was told if she aborted the fetus, they could get started on chemo right away and extend her life. Not save her life because it's impossible. She was going to die. So you could make the case, well, to extend her life, you got to get rid of the baby, which may not even last the pregnancy anyways. So it's the one time I saw it. You know what's funny about that case?
Oh, so you're fine with that. That's fine.
She chose not to have an abortion.
Yay! That's choice! He got there. I'm so proud of him. That's pro-choice. Yeah. You see how no lefty, communist, socialist Democrats came in and held her down on the table and forced her to have an abortion in order for her to get chemo? Do you see how that didn't happen? She chose. Yeah, let's do that. I agree with you.
She chose not to have an abortion.
She chose. She chose not to have an abortion. So glad we could come to that consensus on choice. Interesting. I didn't hear about the story where the lefty woke Democrats held her down and forced her to have an abortion. That didn't happen, did it? No. But the Republicans are forcing women to be human rotting incubators, are forcing women to die out in parking lots, are using flock cameras to try to find a woman who had an abortion. That happened in Texas. I didn't get a chance. I wasn't going to be able to cover it today. Texas went through thousands of flock camera footage to try to find a woman who had an abortion in the state. Because it's illegal to have an abortion there. Freedoms, Constitution, the rights to liberty.
She delivered the baby several months later as the metastatic disease progressed rapidly. Then she got treatment. It didn't work at first. They got more aggressive. And you know what happened? 10 years later.
A miracle.
No cancer.
Oh, science.
Had more kids and gave glory to God. I can't think of a better testimony than that. When a miracle happens, you recognize it when she made the right choice. That's the only case I could come up with. And look at that message. That's the power of prayer, faith, God, grace, and all the above.
No, that was science. That was just science. Science saved your life. You can call it a miracle if you want to, if you feel like it was a miracle, because statistically more people die than they are saved. But that was science. Amber, you said they were worried about her medically. I don't know if it's true. I haven't read much into it. Let's see. Let's look together because I've got time. Let's see. I don't like that. What is that? Best that I can find is Yahoo through Gadget Review, or what is this one? Electronic Frontier Foundation, which I have no clue what that is, so I don't like that. So let's go with this one because it seems more likely. Let's go through this one together. Let's go through it together. I have no problem with that. I haven't read much into it either. A Texas deputy searched 83,000 flock cameras to track down a woman who had an abortion. Now that's a headline. Let's get into the facts, please. Can this go away? Yes. On May 9th, 2025, a deputy with the Johnson County Sheriff's Office in Texas queried Flock Safety's nationwide license plate reader network. The reason entered into the search log, according to the documents obtained by 404 Media, had an abortion search for female. That single query swept across 83,000 cameras and 6,809 law enforcement networks, including cameras in Washington and Illinois, states where abortion is legal and protected. A small county Texas deputy hunting for a woman suspected of self-administering an abortion had just searched a surveillance apparatus stretching from Spokane to Springfield. No warrant was required for the search. Yeah, I don't have any other info on that. If that's true, the welfare check that wasn't. Oh, okay, let's look at this. After 404 Media broke the story, Sheriff Adam King and Flock Safety insisted this was a welfare check for a missing person. Flock called the reporting false and clickbait. Documents and court records obtained by EFF tell a different story. Deputies discussed potential criminal charges with the prosecutors, and the investigating officer's own affidavit contradicts key claims officials used to justify the welfare framing. Kate Bertash of the Digital Defense Fund told 404 Media that anti-abortion activists have long secretly tracking users' recorded plates at clinics, and large ALPR databases now make it easier to cross-reference and track those vehicles over time and across state lines. Yeah. So they're saying that it wasn't a welfare case. I guess Flock Safety is saying it wasn't? No, Flock Safety said it was. Flock said it wasn't, which is confusing. So yeah, I would love more information on this story. I'm a clickbait victim. No, to be fair, I think, I would love more information on this story. But as for what we have right now, my issue is, even if it's a missing person, there should be warrants out for this. I don't like Flock cameras. I don't think the ability to be able to go through cameras in this way without a warrant is a good thing. If she's a missing person, that's fine. Get a warrant for it to find her. I have no problem with that. W's to the TikTok chat for the 300,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. With 10 minutes to spare, as Eli said. Awesome. You said what you heard is that Flock said it's not their responsibility how their equipment is used. Well, that's fair. It is not. It's not their responsibility. They're just a money-making company. It would be on the sheriff's department to ensure that they are following the law of how they use it. Yeah, that's fair. All right, to end with the last 10 minutes that I have, we're going to go through some of Trump's truth slop that we've had. So, I'm going to play this tweet, but I'm going to play the whole thing, but I'm only going to play a couple seconds of it unmuted, because I don't want to get sued or have YouTube try to take the entire thing down. But this was something that the White House's Twitter posted. I'm sure if you I'm sure you've seen it, but we're going to go over it. Now I'm going to mute it. Because unfortunately, it's the exact same song as Rick and Morty. The White House posted this. Yes, they really posted that. They really posted that. Now, I specifically looked. I don't watch Rick and Morty. I've never watched Rick and Morty. So I simply wanted to bring this up. Hopefully not. Hopefully we see litigation in that way, but you never know. So I just wanted to point out. Literally the same thing. Literally the same thing. Hopefully they get sued, but I haven't seen it yet. Hello.
I probably should have double checked this before I hit request.
Oh.
But I think I need Raymond to go to his system notifications.
Oh God, why? What did he do? Oh, he's here.
He applied. Let me double check.
I think Mia told him to be fair.
Exactly. He got strong-armed. I asked him
did you see the post? Did you see the post where they used Noah Khan's song?
I did. Noah Khan was very mad.
And then his co-writer wrote on it, "You fat fuck, this song isn't meant for you."
Yeah, which is
Oh.
his co-writer is Noah as well, but then Noah said it more politely, is that I do not support you.
What do I have to do, Ari?
No, it's not ready for that yet. Just to be sure, I should have asked this, but you don't use the same PayPal as Money, right? Okay.
No,
that's
hers is
good.
in my link tree, but yeah, no.
Okay. Cool. It's just taking a while.
It doesn't let me
It
put.
normally does.
She doesn't let me put my links in my link tree. She makes me put hers.
None of that
Stop with the
happened.
slander.
Because I'm submissive.
Yeah, it's storming here, guys. Sorry.
I can hear it.
It just started. Yeah, it just started as soon as I got inside, so I missed it. Okay. I'll message one of you two to let Raymond know to get his marching orders.
Okay.
Stop using my government name.
That's your
Okay,
name.
goodbye.
Rada, my bad. Okay, Rada. I'm so sorry, Rada.
Sounds good.
I like that better.
Hey, Rada.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye. Okay. So now we're just gonna go through this and then we'll get out of here. We will get out of here. Start thinking of somebody to raid, guys. Start finding somebody to raid. I'm gonna mute this because there's no reason to have the music. Donald Trump went on a Truth Social slop fucking rant this past weekend. Starting off with Caitlin Collins from CNN as Dylan in with the Bud Light ad. So starting with that. Bored in the US. It's just AI slop, by the way. So Chris Christie, apparently Chris Christie made him mad. We know he doesn't like Bruce Springsteen because Bruce Springsteen doesn't like him. Him is an art piece, I guess. By the way, the ads are like hilarious. Dream Singles is the featured ad on True Social. A picture of him standing in front of the TV of a presidential address by President Joe Biden, I guess. Ooh, more Dream Singles. Trump at a podium with a Trump 2028 hat, which again is delusional and unconstitutional because he can't run. Yeah, he did mention the ad at a correspondence dinner. It's so old now. Like, of course it flopped. That's like, it's an old joke. It's not funny anymore. It reminds me of when Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan and they were trying to get Grok to be transphobic, and Grok kept telling them like, well, these things aren't funny. People identify how they identify, and they like sat there like, oh, Grok won't be transphobic. Like, it's old. It's played out. It's done. Nobody cares anymore. Like, stop. The world's on fire. People can't afford their groceries. People can't afford their gas. And you guys want to be transphobic. It's weird. The cheesecake is the prize. Jerry Nadler and Chris Christie. Kimmel, Fallon, and Colbert apparently are going to be homeless, even though Colbert is still doing stuff. He just doesn't have a show, and these two also still have a show. People are dying, Kim. Give the enemy nightmares. What? Like, this is I sound ignorant? This man posted AI slop for the entire weekend when we were fucking bombing Iran. Rosie O'Donnell made a reappearance, so I was mad about that. Yes, she holds dual citizenship in Ireland. I want him to get sued for this one. Cosmic Commander. That's Star Trek. That's just Star Trek. Which, by the way, Star Trek is space communism. But Leadership Destiny Beyond. This man is deteriorating in front of our eyes. Trump 2028. What did it say? I didn't see what it said. Make America Great Again. Strike on Karg. Now we're having AI slop of fantasies of bombing Karg Island. Love that. Yeah, the Starfleet would never. It's our oil tanker now. Just like, I'm just like, oh, sorry, Chicky, I didn't see you. Like, what?
What the hell is all this?
This is his truth. Social over last weekend.
Oh my god.
And then you know how he likes to
So
repost the
tired.
things he posts. So he posts like the same shit 3 times.
I don't know if it was the White House or him, but they also used the Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents
Crossover episode.
merge and Magic School Bus to say, make education great. As they're defunding and cutting and
He posted this 5 times. This one has a different background. Ooh, what pills are we? Skinny pills. Ooh. We're advertising skinny pills. Oh, this is a different version. He's driving the ship, Chicky.
That's not how you drive a okay. Okay.
It is. That's how you drive it. Don't lie to me. This is fake news.
I have been in ships.
That's how they drive
I
it.
was brought to where the captain is.
America first, one nation. What does it say? Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, with 3 slave-owning white men. And by the way, okay, wait. Who is this? Somebody different? Somebody who's good at presidential faces? Because is that not Thomas Jefferson and Thomas Jefferson, or is that Washington and Washington?
Washington,
or a weird Thomas Jefferson Washington?
It's
match?
a child of them.
This is why you don't use AI slop. Those are all George Washington. They kind of are. I feel like it's supposed to be Jefferson. But it's not.
I don't know. It hurts.
The man who saved America. My God. Georgeception.
Ugh. What is this?
I don't know. He's high. Peekaboo. He's doing. Oh, it's like the Shaq one, where he's hiding behind the tree. He's hiding behind the tree.
Is there a caption or anything for that?
No, he just.
What the hell?
Let me see. Go back from the scroll. No, there's nothing. It's just that. Guardians of the world as we bomb.
As
Iran.
bombing.
We're doing it again. Do it again. 3 times. Now he's a ghost. He died.
Yeah, wait.
He's the guardian angel. Panic in DC. Over what? What are we panicking about? And by the way, I just want you guys to know I did fact check this and I went on Truth and I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled till I found them so that I knew I could trust this video before I did. Plan trusted. What plan? America is back. Where'd we go?
Did we bring milk?
Did he bring the milk back, Dad?
Not the single ass.
Look. Trump's cabinet. He's scolding them right now. What is this picture? Trump's cabinet.
You're fired.
Yeah, what is this? What is this? You're all in trouble. He's standing next to JFK.
But he did. Okay.
He superimposed a pink Trump 2028 hat on his younger self.
Oh my God, not the screaming. Oh God.
I hate it here. Correspondence dinner. That one he had posted about we're comparing casualties in war. That's great. We love that. We love comparing the dead. Air filter. We're going to put an air filter between Canada because of their smog. And Canada's going to pay for it.
This is so embarrassing.
Canada's going to pay for it. Where is John Thune? You see this spine? This is what I want to put back in the Republican. Why are you touching its pelvic area? He's not dressed like a doctor. That's not what a doctor looks like. He showed us what a doctor looks like. They wear a white flowing gown and red coverall, like Dr. Jesus. That's not what a doctor looks like.
I hate it. What? What? What?
The past was about to change. History was about to be, does it say over? Trump Washington, a time travel epic.
Why is there a fucking watch in the sky?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
How many aren't we missing a face? Isn't Lincoln up there?
We're missing.
Yeah, Lincoln's on the far right.
Or, okay.
Once again, though, I think those two first ones are both George Washington.
That's how you time travel. You climb into
Imagine
the watch
they
in the
couldn't
sky.
even. They couldn't
Hey, I
even
said all white
find.
men looks the same.
They couldn't even find a stock photo of Mount Rushmore.
No, because he punches stuff into AI, and he has this cape that's not a cape. No capes. Edna Mode said no capes. They're all calling me triggered when I'm laughing at him.
Like, this is decline.
This is mental decline. If
This is beyond decline.
If Joe
Only
Biden
people's
did this,
old crazy uncles fucking post this kind of shit on Facebook.
yeah. Well, Betsy, I sent you that chain letter. You make sure you do it, or else your aunt's not gonna live anymore.
This is beyond decline. Decline is like at an angle. This is straight down, like head first, like how.
That's all he's
freaking-
missing. If you don't forward this Georgeception photo to 5 of your friends in the next 24 hours.
You people are sick fucks. Hello, did you not just see that entire thing that I just posted? I'm sick. I'm a sick fuck. That's the President of the United States of America, the leader of the free world.
Is decline. Yeah, no, this is head first dive like in Fearin. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Just
straight down.
Now I want to find it.
It was in the chat.
God. Yeah, right there.
Right here.
Oh God. Okay, I'm done. Did we find somebody to raid? I don't know if we did.
Oh my God, let me see.
Eli. I'm gonna say YouTube to RTP probably. Hi, Eli.
Hey, I was just going to point out, because Sputnik was over, y'all are sick fucks. If he's mentally stable, then we're allowed to laugh at him. If we're sick fucks, then that's admitting he's fucking declining, right?
Yeah, then we'd be being ableist.
I'm just making sure the logic is logicking, that's all.
Right.
Yeah, you're right, Eli.
The concession, for sure.
Like, he's the most competent president, so.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you for your agreement, Sputnik, you dumb bitch.
We love that for you. YouTube and Twitch, I'm going to send you guys to RTP. I appreciate you guys being here tomorrow. It's Friday, so make sure you guys show up tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you, and I will see YouTube, and Twitch